Doomsday, my Godhead space is infinite. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 101. Leng Mingyue was attacked and unconscious. Leng Mingyue came out of the Godhead space, and it was already dawn at this time, and he saw devastation outside. There are big potholes on the road. The road was also destroyed. Fortunately, Leng Mingyue's car was not damaged. Let me deliver the goods myself. It can also keep the satellite safe. Leng Mingyue drove on the road, took out the satellite phone and dialed it. The deputy base chief answered the phone. Leng Mingyue said, "Last night we were attacked by a giant mutant beast. The escort team was wiped out. The satellite was not damaged. I'm now pulling the satellite and setting off alone. You inform the Jiaquan base. I'll be there around noon tomorrow." The deputy base chief said, "Thank you, Mr. Leng. What kind of mutant beast caused the team to suffer such a big loss?" Leng Mingyue gave an approximate location and said, "This giant earthworm is so powerful that it can swallow a troop carrier in one bite. I saw at least 4 of them escaped, and I don't know how many have yet to come out. I suggest not to take this path in the future. Hang up the phone and drive on the road by yourself much faster. Take a break at noon. Don't get to the base too early. The car pulling the satellite can't drive too fast. Don't let others suspect you. Had lunch and slept for a while. Set off again in the afternoon. Driven 800 kilometers today until dark. It will arrive tomorrow morning." But Leng Mingyue is not in a hurry. "I prepared a big dinner for myself, but I was alone when I ate it, which was so boring." Leng Mingyue called out Zaya Sunhua and Damimi. The little sunflower took back the branch, and now a sunflower is planted on the ground. Those who don't know it think it is an ordinary plant. During the meal, Leng Mingyue stewed a pot of pork ribs. Damimi actually sat down, took a piece from the hot pot with his hands, and put it in his mouth, with an expression of enjoyment on his face. "Fuck. What's the situation? Come and see, everyone. The alloy spirit monster ate meat. Yes, he also ate bones." Seeing Damimi's eyes that were staring blank before, they became flexible. Now Damimi looks like a real person. Not sure why there is such a change point. While Leng Mingyue took a bite of rice and glanced at Damimi, he finished his dinner. "Something is wrong, but I don't know what is wrong." Leng Mingyue researched it very late, and he didn't know what happened to Damimi. I got up late the next day. It was past 10 AM. Leng Mingyue cooked some noodles for himself. After simply eating a little bit, we set off, and we should be there in 2 to 3 hours. It seems that the danger predicted by Zuchuan is the big earthworm. The squad was wiped out. It seems that the danger is not so great. Don't think about it anymore. Kick the accelerator and set off. It was very smooth. At a place 5 kilometers away from the base, I changed the car and drove the car pulling the satellite to the base. Should have been notified in advance. After driving in, someone took over the satellite car. The person in charge of the base greeted Leng Mingyue very warmly and said, "Mr. Leng, please. Thanks to Mr. Leng this time. You can take a rest here first." Leng Mingyue dialed the satellite phone and said to the deputy base chief, "I have safely transported the satellite to the base. I'm going to go back now." The deputy base chief said, "It's already afternoon, and the engineers are stepping up to install it on the rocket. It should be launched tomorrow morning. Please Mr. Leng to stay one more night. Can you come back after the satellite launch tomorrow?" Heard such news. It doesn't matter to Leng Mingyue. It's okay to stay one more day. Leng Mingyue called Mingyue again and told everyone that it had been delivered safely and they would go back tomorrow morning. Let everyone feel at ease. There was nothing to say all night. At 7:50 in the morning, the rocket successfully sent the satellite into space. In Daksha, the mobile phone will have a signal immediately. Leng Mingyue is also very happy. Without information communication, human society cannot develop. Leng Mingyue approached the person in charge of the base and asked Leng Mingyue, "How long will the mobile phone have a signal?" The person in charge said, "After about 5 hours, the mobile phone will be usable and you can make calls. The rocket has been successfully launched. Leng Mingyue is very happy and will be able to use a mobile phone in the future. Leave. Left the Jiuquan base point. The power of the country is still strong and there is still such a great technology in the end of the day. Leng Mingyue returned the same way. This road is very familiar. Leng Mingyue drove for 5 hours to Alxa League. Leng Mingyue wanted to see if the mobile phone could talk. First, I called Mingyue with a satellite phone and asked her to find a mobile phone and tried to call her by myself. After hanging up the satellite phone, I made a call with an ordinary mobile phone. The signal was not very good, but I could clearly hear what I was saying. Leng Mingyue is very happy. It would be nice to chat while driving. The task this time was also successfully completed. Although there was a small risk, I also successfully sent the satellite. At this moment, Mingyue grabbed the phone and chatted with Leng Mingyue. While chatting, suddenly Leng Mingyue's car was blown up. While being blown away, I felt overwhelming coercion. What is this? Leng Mingyue looked up and saw a golden light piercing towards his head. Leng Mingyue wanted to hide, but the golden light was too fast, and when he saw it, the golden light had already reached his forehead. Leng Mingyue could feel that Jinguang broke his scalp and skull, and when he was about to split himself in half, the fragments of Godhead appeared on the current fragments of Godhead in front of Jinguang. When he was reborn, his Godhead was just fingernails. The size has now doubled. Now Jinguang cut off a third of the Godhead fragments abruptly. At the same time, the golden light was also blocked. Leng Mingyue returned to the Godhead space with his last consciousness. Leng Mingyue lay down on the ground. Blood flowed all over the floor. Leng Mingyue now has a golden glow in his blood. Before Leng Mingyue fell into a coma, he used the power of rules to control the forehead wound, preventing the wound from bleeding. Leng Mingyue fell into a complete coma. At this time, Xia Sunhe and Damimi came over at the same time. Regardless of Leng Mingyue, they are all sucking blood from the ground. The big Mimi sucks more, and the little sunflower sucks less. Damimi pressed both hands on the blood, and the blood was absorbed into the body along the palm. The little sunflower directly plunged the roots into the blood and absorbed it frantically. After sucking the one on the ground, he started sucking on Leng Mingyue's body again. After smoking all of them, I saw Leng Mingyue passed out. The little sunflower can only become a sunflower to guard. Damimi absorbed more blood, as if he had opened his wisdom, and took a bowl of liquid water for Leng Mingyue to drink. Leng Mingyue's blood and consciousness, which were about to be exhausted, recovered slightly under the effect of the spiritual spring water. 1/3 of the space in the Godhead space also collapsed. Fortunately, it collapsed from the edge, which has little effect on the creatures in the space of the Godhead. Leng Mingyue was groggy. I don't know how long I was in a coma. Chapter 102. The team set off to find Leng Mingyue. At the Lisan base, Mingyue had just snatched the phone, and before she could say a word, there was an explosion sound from the phone. Then the phone hangs up. Mingyue panicked and called her sister quickly. Said that there was an explosion on the opposite side of the phone. The two hurried to find Huan Can and Qinfeng. Said the content of the conversation just now. After the sudden explosion, the phone was hung up. Qinfeng took out the satellite phone and dialed it. No one answered the phone. Several people discussed it and called the Kyoto base with a satellite phone. Not many people know the satellite phone number of the deputy base chief. After the deputy base chief connected, Qinfeng said, "Hello, Deputy Base Chief, this is the Lisan base." Then he talked about the ringtone call process. The Deputy Base Chief was also surprised. Said, "Mr. Leng left Jiuquan this morning. I'll send someone to look for it right away." Then I told Qinfeng that when I went there, I was attacked by giant insects. The address was also told to Qinfeng. After hanging up the phone, several people discussed it and decided to look for it. Several people packed their things separately because there is no Leng Mingyue, so they need to bring more food, gasoline, and water. In the end, 2 pickups were selected, and the rear buckets were loaded with supplies. On this trip, I brought Rhubarb, this powerful dog. There is also Zuchun, because Zuchun said that he can feel that Leng Mingyue is not dead, but his breath is weak, and he should be seriously injured. Before leaving, find Zuchun. Let Yuchen take care of the house. It may take longer for a few people to go out. It's all arranged. It's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 pickup trucks drove out of the base. All the way to Jiuquan base, more than 1,000 kilometers, not too far. At night, Huang Can said, "Let's drive overnight." Qin Feng said no. The road itself is not good. Driving lights are likely to attract zombies or mutant beasts at night. After Huang Can compromised, he found a place, and the few of them slept in the car. It's not too cold now. Qin Feng and Mirengzu were in the same car. The other 3 women were in another car. Several people take turns to watch the night. The last person on duty at night was Mirengzu, who got up and started preparing for the morning. As soon as it was dawn, everyone packed up and set off on the road. We will go to Jiuquan base before dark today and then follow the route of Leng Mingyue to find it. The more anxious the few people became, the more accidents happened and the road ahead was broken. It would be a lot farther if we made a detour, and finally Qin Feng carried the car over. I continued to feel comfortable, and when I drove to noon, I entered a group of thousands of small zombies on the road. They couldn't get around, and they didn't dare to hit them. They weren't Leng Mingyue, just these 2 cars. If they crashed the car, it would be even slower. There was no way for a few people to get out of the car and start killing zombies. After cleaning up the zombies in an hour and continue on the road, a few people ate a piece of bread in the car without cooking at noon. After dark, it took another hour to drive to Jiuquan base. The person in charge has been notified, and after taking a few people in, he arranged 2 rooms. Several people were tired from hurrying on. I went to bed early and set off early tomorrow. In the morning, I asked the person in charge, Leng Mingyue, the direction to go. The 2 vehicles set off in this direction, drove for about 5 hours, and then slowed down, because the explosion sound came from the base 5 hours later, and the phone was cut off. Slow down the speed of the car and check whether there are signs of fighting on both sides. When the car reached the place where Leng Mingyue was attacked, several people got out of the car and saw a car being cut off from it. Several people feel that this should be Leng Mingyue's car. All I know is that there was an attack, but no other clues. Hold out the snowball and let the snowball sense it. Zhu Chen said that he could only sense that he was still alive and could not sense anything else. Several people decided to search separately. Qin Feng and Mirengzu drove north to search. Ringtone drove south looking. Huang Can walked around here with rhubarb and snowballs. Several people have been looking here for a week. Supplies are all used up. Several people decided to go back to the base to bring some supplies back. If you continue to search, the 3 women will not go back. Tell Qin Feng and Mirengzu to go back, and then call over the few people who Huang Can has been training. The land here is sparsely populated. Need to find a few more people. Then clean up all the zombies along the way. Finding Leng Mingyue could be a long game. Chapter 103. 8 months later. Half a year has passed in a hurry, and the team members have been traveling from Lisan base to Alxa League, and then to Jiuquan base. Everyone has not given up looking for Leng Mingyue. Because of Zhu Chuan's language, Leng Mingyue was seriously injured, and did not die. In the past 6 months, the members of the team also experienced several dangers. The Lisan base has withstood 2 waves of zombies. Fortunately, the level of the zombies is not too high. The team gave priority to killing the leading zombies, which greatly reduced the power of the zombie waves. The power level of several people finally reached the peak of level 6. Just one opportunity away, he could break through the 7th level ability point. At the same time, the base also encountered a huge crisis, and the food left by Leng Mingyue was running out. Leng Mingyue put a lot of food when he left, but now there are about 2,000 people in the base. Daily consumption is huge. Yuchen has already begun to control food, changing it to 2 meals a day. At 10 o'clock in the morning, each person has a bowl of porridge and a cornbread. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, each person has a steamed bun and a small amount of pickles. Some corn is also planted in the base, but it will be eaten for a year, so it must be controlled in advance. Yuchen asked people to continue to expand corn planting, and also planted some other grains. Of course, not just corn. In the past few years, these people have eaten bugs in the mountains. Although it looks disgusting, it tastes good, and it is still meat. The base has been built, so we don't need so many people, so we send everyone out to find the bugs. This bug has basically no attack power. One weighs about 5 kgs, which is also the main food for survivors, because everyone in the team is looking for Leng Mingyue. There is no one to lead the team, and the speed of cleaning up the zombies in Chang'an has also slowed down. Zombie activities are relatively frequent, and the hunting team that went out began to suffer casualties. Qin Feng and Huan Kankan Lingayin met together for a discussion. I can't continue to search blindly like this. This Lisan base was established by Leng Mingyue, and zombies should not be able to break through this base just because they are looking for someone. And they have searched everywhere they can, and they probably won't find it. After searching several people decided to lead a team of people tomorrow to start cleaning up the zombies in Chang'an and strive to clean up all the zombies in the entire Chang'an city as soon as possible. Suzun stayed at the base. Now Lingayan is assisting Yuchen in managing the base. Huan Kankan said, Lingyue, can you lead a team? Be careful. Lingyue smiled and said, no problem. My ability level is higher than all of you. Don't worry, Lingyue doesn't make shots often. In fact, Lingyue's combat power is also very terrifying. The 7th level Lingyue can control more than 20 zombies to fight at the same time, and Lingyue can also kill zombies with his eyes. When he looks at the zombie with mental power, the zombie's head bursts instantly. The bell language is now whoever kicks, whoever dies. There is also the help of the big willow tree. Kill zombies very fast. Mirangzu also led a team to clean up in one direction. It's not too far away from Qinfeng, and if there is an accident, I can provide timely support. Rhubarb ran back and forth, also killing zombies. The zombies in the entire Chang'an city were cleaned up at a fast speed. While cleaning up, Huan Kankan met a level 7 zombie. Called everyone to come over. This is a level 7 defense zombie. Not a big threat, but hard to kill. The people in the team shot with all their strength, and it took 3 hours to kill the zombies. This crystal nucleus was given to Qinfeng. Qinfeng didn't refuse either. Let's see if he can break through and become a level 7 superhuman with this crystal nucleus. It took 7 days for Qinfeng to break through the 7th level for the first time. The combat power of the base has increased a lot. It took another 2 months to finally clean up all the zombies in Chang'an city. At the same time, a lot of manpower was lost. There are now fewer than 1,500 people at the base. It is also dangerous to go out to look for bugs, sometimes being raided by mutant beasts, or be attacked by zombies on the road. It is worth celebrating that several members of the team have broken through to level 7. Rhubarb has also reached level 7. But both Zuchuan and Xiaobei are still at level 6, and Dabei used to be at level 5, but now he is also at level 6. Rhubarb can speak out after reaching the 7th level, but the accent is weird. It often makes everyone laugh. Finally cleaned up the zombies in Chang'an, and a few people celebrated in the evening. There is not much food now, and the people in the team are very frugal every day. Lingayin said, Chang'an is finished cleaning up. I still want to find Leng. Big brother Zuchuan's voice appeared in everyone's minds, saying, I will soon break through to level 7. After I break through to the 7th level, I will use language. It will be much more accurate, so you can wait. While everyone was waiting, Xiaobei broke through to level 7 first. This little white rabbit has no ability to attack after having the ability to flash and travel through space. After reaching the 7th level, I realized a terrifying skill, Space Slash, which ignores defense. With a wave of his claws, or thin space was torn apart. The dozen or so zombies in front were chopped off in half. Everyone's jaw dropped in shock. Xiaobei can speak after level 7. Waited another 3 days. Zuchuan finally reached level 7. Everyone couldn't wait to let Zuchuan speak. Snowball closed her eyes. Chapter 104. Leng Mingyue wakes up. While everyone was waiting anxiously, Zuchuan opened his eyes. Zuchuan said, I sense that Leng Mingyue was recovering from a serious injury. Can't feel where. Everyone can rest assured that Leng Mingyue is safe now. After hearing Zuchuan's words, everyone didn't know whether they should be happy or worried. I know that Leng Mingyue's life is not in danger, but I don't know where to recuperate. Qinfeng said, now let's wait at the base with peace of mind. The boss is recovering from his injuries. He will definitely come back after recovering from his injuries. There is no better way for the few of them but to wait. Leng Mingyue opened his eyes, feeling a headache. Who I am, where I am. Sitting up, he saw two beauties approaching in surprise. A woman who looks like a star said, "You finally woke up." Leng Mingyue asked, "Where is this? Who are you? Where is this?" Asked 3 times in a row. The second daughter didn't know the answer either. The second daughter was stunned and didn't know how to answer. Leng Mingyue stood up and moved his stiff body. "It seems that I have been here for a long time. After thinking for a long time, I couldn't remember who I was, and after asking for a long time, the 2 women in front of me didn't know, so I could only walk around to see if there was anyone else here, and then asked to see if anyone knew me." Leng Mingyue walked in front, followed by 2 women. The area here is huge. Leng Mingyue walked a long way, but did not see anyone. There was a hill ahead. Walking up the hillside, Leng Mingyue saw a village at the foot of the hill, and there were people here. Great. Speed up and go down the mountain. When you see someone, you want to ask to see where this is. I saw an old man outside the village, working in the farmland. Leng Mingyue stepped forward and asked, "Grandpa, I want to ask you something." The old man glanced back at Leng Mingyue, surprised. Why does this person look so similar to the person enshrined in the village? The old man came over and said, "What do you want to ask?" Leng Mingyue asked, "Where is this?" "This is Li village." "Because the village chief's surname is Li. Isn't this reason a bit hasty?" Leng Mingyue asked again, "Which province and which city is here?" Grandpa looks like a fool. Said, "In the end, there are still provinces and cities." After the uncle said the word doom, Leng Mingyue's head started to hurt. It seems that something is about to drill out. Covering his head with his hands, he squatted on the ground. The woman who looked like a star stepped forward to support her, said, "Are you okay?" and handed Leng Mingyue a bowl of water. Leng Mingyue felt much better after drinking it. "There seems to be energy in the water," the old man said. "Otherwise, go in and ask the village chief. Why does this plot seem to have appeared in crosstalk?" Leng Mingyue walked into the village. There is a stone statue in the middle of the village, and a group of people are arguing under it. Leng Mingyue stood outside listening to what was said inside. One person said, "We don't do worship in the village anymore. God has not given us materials for more than half a year. He used to give us almost once a week. Now that we haven't been there for such a long time, God has already forgotten us." The village scolded, "You bastard. If there is no God, you would have died in the mouth of the zombies long ago. If you were not bitten to death by the zombies, you must have starved to death. Who doesn't speak anymore?" Leng Mingyue's head started to hurt again when he heard the zombies. The village led people to kneel in front of the stone statue and began to pray. The village said, "Please God, give some salt." The village has not eaten salt for 2 months. People are exhausted. Leng Mingyue felt that these people were pitiful. He hadn't eaten salt for so long. If he had, he would definitely give them a box of salt. Thinking of this, a box of salt appeared in front of the stone statue. The villagers are all excited. "God has given us salt. Kowtow everyone." As people kowtowed, Leng Mingyue felt a force entering his body. It seems to be repairing his body. The village head stepped forward to pick up the salt, distributed it to the villagers, and kept some of the rest. The village chief looked back and saw Leng Mingyue and 2 girls behind him. The village head was also taken aback. The village chief met Leng Mingyue. The village chief hurried over and knelt down to Leng Mingyue. "Did God appear?" Leng Mingyue quickly helped the village chief up and asked, May I ask which province this is? Which city do you know me?" The village chief said, "Aren't you a god to come to see us?" Leng Mingyue shook his head and said, "I woke up on the hillside over there." He pointed to the 2 girls behind and asked them, but they didn't know either. The village head said, "This should be a paradise. We, like you, are here to wake up, have been living here." Leng Mingyue asked again, "What are you talking about the end of the day and the zombies?" The village chief said, "It seems that you have lost your memory." Then he told Leng Mingyue the scene of the end of the world outside. "You must be the paradise where God took pity on you and brought you there." The village head said that Leng Mingyue's head hurt more and more. Unable to bear it, he ran out of the village. The village chief left Leng Mingyue alone. The 2 girls chased them out. There seems to be an invisible barrier outside the village. Leng Mingyue and the 2 girls ran out directly, surprising the village chief. Once the village chief comes here, he can no longer go out. Leng Mingyue was tired from running, so he sat down. His stomach was growling, and he hadn't eaten for too long. Seeing a flock of sheep not far away, I don't think about anything else. Let's eat mutton first. He looked back at the second daughter who was inseparable. Said, "What are you doing with me?" The star-like woman said, "Master, we want to follow you." Leng Mingyue felt refreshed when he called the master, and whenever he came up, he called the master. The woman behind nodded. "Why do you call me master?" The second daughter shook her head. Leng Mingyue wondered if she also lost her memory. Regardless, there are two people to help catch the sheep better. Said, "The three of us surrounded a sheep and caught the sheep to eat meat." Before Leng Mingyue could finish speaking, the two girls ran out like a gust of wind, and each of them came back holding a sheep. Leng Mingyue wondered if they were the supernatural beings that the village chief said. Killed a sheep and gathered some firewood. How do I start a fire here? Is it necessary to drill wood to make fire? Just as I was thinking about it, the girl behind stretched out her hand, and flames appeared in her hand. Light the firewood. Leng Mingyue thought to himself, seeing that they are supernatural beings, one must not offend them. After a meal of roasted whole lamb, Leng Mingyue lay down and began to think about who he was. At this time, two women, one on the left and one on the right, got into Leng Mingyue's arms. What's going on? I'm not Liu Zahu. Don't test me. And two such beautiful women. Leng Mingyue pretended to be asleep, and the star woman rolled over and hugged Leng Mingyue. "Exhale like blue." Leng Mingyue responded. Chapter 105. Leng Mingyue in the Godhead space. Leng Mingyue pushing the person away a little. If the heart is clear, the sky will not be shocked. It's not that Leng Mingyue has no idea for such a beautiful woman to call herself master, but they are all supernatural beings. Leng Mingyue dare not. Leng Mingyue remembered that this star looked familiar to him. Leng Mingyue sat up and said, "Are you a big star, Mimi?" The woman nodded and shook her head again. Said, "I don't know what a big star is. The master named me Damimi." The woman behind said, "The master named me Little Sunflower." Leng Mingyue said, "What a bad name. Why is it called Zara Sunhua? It might as well be called Gan Maoling." I couldn't think of anything, and asked the two girls who only knew to call me master, and didn't come out. Leng Mingyue lay down again, and it was very comfortable to lie on the hillside after eating. Could it be that he eats and sleeps like a salted fish, and eats and sleeps at this time? The two girls lay down again, each with one arm on the pillow, which was too tormented. Leng Mingyue asked, "Why are you so close to me?" Damimi said, "We have been living like this for the past few months." "How many months?" Leng Mingyue sat up again. "How long have I been in a coma?" Damimi snapped her fingers and said, 7 to 8 months. It shouldn't be. Even if you are hungry for so long, you will definitely starve to death. This is all a mess. I don't know what to do next. Asked Damimi, "Are there any other villages here?" Damimi said, "There are still a few villages going in. It's okay to stay here." Leng Mingyue thought to take a look inside, in case someone knew him. He could also know who he was. Standing up, the second daughter followed suit. It's not bad to travel with two beauties. There are cattle and sheep everywhere, and grain is full. When I came to the second village, like the first village, I was worshipping, hoping to get some food. Leng Mingyue felt that these people were so pitiful, with so much food outside, he thought he might as well get some for them. As soon as I thought of this, thousands of catties of grain appeared in front of the statue. The sudden food made the villagers kneel down, and began to thank God for the food. Leng Mingyue felt a force enter his body, and it also expanded a little at the edge of the Godhead space. Leng Mingyue walked from village to village. More and more energy entered the body, as if I could think of something. Leng Mingyue made a big circle. I saw several villages, pigs, and sheep on the hillside in the distance, and a small river. When I got back to where I lived, I saw a well. There are still such ancient wells in this era. If you can't remember it, you can't remember it. Just so carefree. Besides, there are two beauties accompanying her. Leng Mingyue asked the second daughter what to eat for dinner. The second girl shook her head. "It seems that none of them can cook. I have to come by myself." There was some roast whole lamb left. In the evening, I cooked Yangtze noodles. Had some lamb. It's not cold here, and it's like spring all the year round. At night, there are also stars and the moon. Leng Mingyue thought, it's not bad to live here all the time, and there are two beauties who call him master. The second daughter is very attached to Leng Mingyue. As long as Leng Mingyue lies down, the second daughter will be on the left and the right. Happy and painful point. I heard from the village head that the world is doomsday outside, and every day counts day by day past. Leng Mingyue goes around every day. He found that this space has changed, and it has become much larger. I will also go around the village. Whatever is lacking in the village, what the villagers are looking for, Leng Mingyue will always appear. When Leng Mingyue is around, a stream of energy is repairing the fragments of Leng Mingyue's Godhead. It is also repairing the injured brain. The time flies. The time flies. 1 year later. Chapter 106. Leng Mingyue out of space. Leng Mingyue used the power of faith to repair the brain in the Godhead space. The outside world panicked. The evolution level of zombies surpasses that of humans. During this year, many small bases were breached by zombies. Zombies are generally around level 5, and level 6 zombies can be seen, even though they are rare. Generally, in a large city, a city can have a level 7 zombie. Lishan base is not bad. Chang'an was cleaned up, and the cities with zombies were far away. Now the Lishan base has also suffered a lot of casualties, and now there are less than 1,000 people. Yuchen's phone rang. It was from the base in Kyoto. The team has supported the Kyoto base several times, otherwise the Kyoto base may have been breached by now. The voice of the deputy base chief came out. The Kyoto base has lost too many people due to several zombie waves, and there are zombies coming from Jin City and Bayo City one after another. We are going to start Plan B. In Mian Mountain 2 years ago, the excavation started, and now the underground fortress has been excavated. We have already begun to move underground. Civilians have been transferred in large numbers, and all that are left in the base are combatants. It's been over 6 years since Doomsday. Survivors have gone from tens of millions at the beginning to less than 2 million now. Several large bases have begun to make underground bunkers if conditions permit. Let me inform you to prepare early. Hope more survivors survive. Some small bases were not equipped to make underground bunkers, and they began to hide in the mountains. Plains and cities are no longer suitable for human survival. After the deputy base chief finished speaking, Yu Chan felt the same way. Now the level of zombies is getting higher and higher. Ask about Leng Mingyue again. I heard from Yu Chan that I haven't found it yet. The deputy base chief side point. After hanging up the phone, Yu Chan summoned the team. After everyone arrived in the conference room, Yu Chan talked about the content of the call with the deputy base chief. Several people were silent. Now the Lishan base has less than 1,000 people, and it is impractical to dig underground fortresses. Several people discussed it, and the non-combatants moved to the mountains. The fighters are still in Lishan. Even if there is a large-scale zombie wave, the fighters still have the ability to protect themselves after more than a year. Everyone's ability level has reached the middle and late stages of level 7. The ordinary personnel in the base are around level 5, which is basically the same level as the zombie level. Everyone's ability level is a little higher. After finishing speaking, several people sighed again, not knowing what happened to Leng Mingyue. Now the apocalypse is getting tougher. Hope to be back soon. Leng Mingyue took two beauties to travel around the mountains and rivers every day. So uncomfortable. Leng Mingyue felt that the IQ of the second daughter was rising. On this day, Damimi said to Leng Mingyue, "This should belong to your space, the master, because you took me out." Leng Mingyue muttered to himself and went out. The scenery in front of me changed, and there was a desert in the distance. This is where. Why did I come here suddenly? Leng Mingyue panicked. After waking up, the second daughter had been with him all the time, but when he came to a strange place suddenly, the second daughter was gone. What I just thought was to go out, now I want to go in. The scenery in front of him changed, and he returned to the side of the second daughter. Leng Mingyue was happy. I can really get out, so amazing. Little Sunflower said, "Master, please take us out to have a look." Leng Mingyue pulled the other with one hand and left the space in an instant. The three looked at the desert in front of them and the highway below them. That space is really mine, and this world is the end of the world. Leng Mingyue said, "Let me take you to kill zombies and let you see how powerful I am." After a year of faith, Leng Mingyue now has the power of a second level supernatural being. Leng Mingyue doesn't need his second daughter to kill a sheep. He feels that he has surpassed the special forces. Leng Mingyue set off along the highway with his two daughters. Leng Mingyue took out a car with a wave of his hand and asked the two girls, which of you can drive it? The second girl shook her head. Leng Mingyue got into the car and fiddled with it for a long time and then took the car back to the Godhead space. Leng Mingyue didn't know how to drive it either. Well, let's walk. Overlook on the highway. A village can be seen faintly. The three got off the highway and walked towards the village. The three are fast. When we arrived at the village, we walked around, but there was not a single zombie point. It was cleaned up by Qin Feng and Huan Can point. The three continued to search for the distance. Definitely find the zombies. Chapter 107. Meeting a zombie for the first time after amnesia. The three of them had no target and headed south by east all the way. Leng Mingyue was surprised. According to the village chief, there are zombies everywhere in the outside world. It is not suitable for human survival at all. We've been walking all day and haven't come across a single zombie. Qin Feng and Huan Can Mingyue have been cleaning here for several months. Basically wiped out all the zombies. Leng Mingyue definitely didn't know. There is a mountain in the southeast direction. The three of them walked towards the mountain and there was desolation everywhere. In the Godhead space, there is abundant water and grass and there is only desert here. The mountains are huge. The three of them walked into the mountains. In the mountains, I saw some traces of human existence, but no people. When you reach the top of the mountain and look down, you can see a piece of Jiangnan outside the Great Wall. To the north of the mountains is desert. There are abundant water resources in the south, and rice is also grown. The three quickly descended the mountain. A few people finally found a big city, which was Yinchuan according to the billboard. This should also be a big city. Leng Mingyue took the two daughters and saw the zombies from a distance. Leng Mingyue saw a zombie for the first time after losing his memory. I feel very strong. Killing zombies should be no problem. Leng Mingyue found a steel pipe. I found a lone zombie and prepared to sneak attack. This is a level 3 zombie. Leng Mingyue picked up the steel pipe and the moment it fell, the zombie turned around and blocked the steel pipe with his arm, kicking Leng Mingyue in the stomach. Leng Mingyue felt as if he had been hit by a car. Damimi reached out to catch Leng Mingyue. Leng Mingyue said, "Run, the zombies are too powerful." Damimi hugged Leng Mingyue and Xiaokihua followed behind. Leng Mingyue didn't see it, and a branch flew out of the little sunflower's hand and directly pierced through the zombie point. After running far away, Leng Mingyue said, "Put me down quickly." The zombies didn't come after them. The three of them stopped to rest. In fact, the two girls were not tired. Leng Mingyue said, "I didn't expect the zombies to be so powerful that we couldn't even deal with them. I heard from the village chief that you can find a base, a safe zone, find people to form a team, and kill zombies together. With a crystal core, you can increase your ability level." The second daughter looked at Leng Mingyue in a daze. Many times they still couldn't understand what Leng Mingyue said, so they just followed in a daze. Leng Mingyue felt that he was thinking a lot. Hearing from the village chief, he should be right. Everyone said that the village chief is the most talented person in the village. Leng Mingyue decided to return to the mountains just now. Where are the traces of humans? Should be able to find survivors or a safe zone point. When I came to the foot of the mountain, I realized that this mountain is called Helen Mountain. By this time it was almost dark. The three found a relatively clean house for the night. I'm going into the mountains tomorrow to look for it. For a year, Leng Mingyue has been teaching his second daughter how to cook. As a maid, she doesn't even know how to cook, and she wants her master to cook. Leng Mingyue was on a recliner and began to order food. "Today I want to eat fish-flavored shredded pork. In came a common lamb, a braised pork rib. Let's make a sweet and sour fish. 4 dishes are enough for 3 people. The braised pork ribs made by Xiaosunhua today are too salty. Pay attention next time." Leng Mingyue is lying on Damimi's lap, and Damimi is feeding grapes. Little Sunflower is pinching her legs. Leng Mingyue thought that if there were no zombies, it would be fine to live like this forever. My previous memories may not be that important either. The big quilt slept together, and it was 12 midnight. There was movement outside, and the three of them sat up at the same time. The three quickly put on their clothes. When I came outside, there were thousands of zombies chasing the three survivors. The three of them are not low in level, and they can attack zombies while running. The three of them ran from Yin's direction. It was less than 200 meters away from where the three of them lived. Leng Mingyue finally saw the survivors. After tidying up, putting all the things into the Godhead space, and bringing the two women out to greet them, the three survivors thought where the idiots came from, and ran away after seeing so many zombies. The leader shouted, "Run, the tide of zombies is coming." Soon the three of them arrived, and the zombies chased after them very quickly. There are also supernatural zombies in the zombie group, which are releasing supernatural abilities. Leng Mingyue followed with his two daughters, and ran towards Mount Helen. Although it is night, but with the moonlight, several of them are supernatural beings, and it's not too strenuous to go up the mountain. An hour later, the zombies were thrown off. Chapter 108 Helen Mountain Base. Leng Mingyue took the initiative to step forward and said, "Brothers, is there a safe zone here? If so, can you point me in the right direction?" The leader glanced at Leng Mingyue, then at the two women behind him. There was an obscene light flashing in his eyes. Said, "Here is the Helen Mountain Base. It should be the safe zone you mentioned. Here because of the special geographical location. Survivors from several nearby cities have come here. There are more than 1 million people in the base. Because there is a large area of rice in the south of Helen Mountain. So the survivors here will not be hungry. If you want to go, I can take you there." Leng Mingyue said, "I went to see it in the afternoon, and there are still a lot of rice. It's really nice here. Thank you three big brothers for taking me to the base." Leng Mingyue took out a pack of cigarettes and distributed one to each of them. Doomsday has been around for 6 to 7 years, although there are also some who grow their own tobacco leaves now. But seeing the Zhanghua cigarettes that Leng Mingyue brought out, the end of this month is something before the end. The current price is very high. A pack of cigarettes can be exchanged for 100 catties of rice at the Helen Mountain Base. In the eyes of the three, this kind of thing should not exist. The three of them took a deep breath. The feeling of enjoyment leaked out. The leader said, "The mountain road is too difficult to walk. It's not easy to go at night. We will start again at dawn tomorrow." Leng Mingyue returned to the second daughter and said, "There really is a base here, and it is a big base. And there is no shortage of food. Although I'm not short of food." Leng Mingyue knows that wealth should not be revealed. You can't say that you don't lack, and you can't expose your space. It was dark today, and those three people probably didn't notice the three of them been running behind them. He took out 3 small backpacks from the Godhead space. Put some rice in the bag. Put a few bottles of water. Also put some bread. The bag is not big. Just put it full. The next day, the three set off with Leng Mingyue and the second daughter, and Leng Mingyue each handed another cigarette. This time, the three of them didn't order any, so they put it away very cherished, and looked aggressively at the cigarette case in Leng Mingyue's hand. The leader said, "Let's go. There are still hours to go." In the deep mountains, the road is not easy to walk. At 10 AM, Leng Mingyue saw a valley in front of him. It is very big. There are a lot of people inside, and many houses have been built. It can be seen that these are all built after the end of the world. It seems that this base has developed very well. The leader said, "This is just the surface. At the very back there is a natural cave. The inside is very large, and there are many more people living in it. Let's go. I'll take you to our team's residence." Leng Mingyue is very happy. It is easy to have acquaintances. There is also a fee to enter the base here, and the fee is not too high. 1 level to crystal nucleus per person, or 10 catties of grain, can live for a month. Leng Mingyue has no crystal nucleus, and not much grain is taken out. While still hesitating, the leader said, "I gave them out, through 3 crystal nuclei, and a few people entered the base. This base is very large, and caves have been dug on both sides of the mountain to accommodate people. The base of these 3 people is relatively remote. It's been very sidelined. It was a house built by myself, and it looked very dilapidated. There are also several tents next to the house. There are about 30 people here, who should be members of this team." The leader asked Leng Mingyue and 3 to wait at the door. Cold Head went in to find the captain. Leng Mingyue couldn't hear, but Damami and Zyokihua could clearly hear the people inside talking. The man said, "Captain, when we came back, we picked up 3 people, 1 man and 2 women, and that man is a waste. The level is not high, and it seems that the brain is not very good. Those 2 girls are so beautiful. I have never seen such a beautiful woman before." The end. I brought people. In 2 days, I took the man out to do a mission, and the zombies ate him. These 2 women are filial to the captain. The captain said happily after hearing this. "Okay, there are many rewards. I'll play for you when I'm done." Although Damimi and Zio-Sunhua are not very intelligent, they heard that Leng Mingyue was going to be eaten by zombies. Eyes kicked up, Damimi nodded to Zyokihua. Little Sunflower walked in, and the captain saw that the beauty who came in was so beautiful. The captain's saliva flowed down. More than 30 people inside stood up, their eyes straight. Little Sunflower said, "You are going to hurt my master." The captain said, "It's good to call me master. I will be your master from now on." Before she finished speaking, Little Sunflower spread more than 30 branches from both hands and wrapped them around the necks of everyone present. These people started to rebel. All kinds of supernatural powers hit the branches like mud cows entering the sea. "Can't shake a bit." Little Sunflower lifted the man up, and after his feet were off the ground, the strength of his struggle became weaker and weaker. Little Sunflower didn't kill anyone, and took back the branch when she was about to strangle someone. Said, "Be kind to my master." Turned around and went out. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 109, Going Out to Collect Crystal Nuclei. It took more than 10 minutes for these 30 people to slow down. The captain pulled the leader over and beat him up. "You are bringing back 3 ancestors. Be nice to her, master. You tell me if I want to give him the position of captain." The captain was frustrated. "I'm a 5th level supernatural being, and I have high combat power in this base. Without strength, I have no place in this valley at all. I can only go to the cave, where there is no sky. It's better now. I thought it was a soft persimmon, but I knocked out my own teeth." The person in the lead said, "It's too late to say this now. They are still waiting at the door." The captain said, "Hurry up and ask for it." "Forget it. I will go and invite it myself." After speaking, he ran outside. Leng Mingyue waited at the door for a while and saw a group of people rushing out from inside. The person in front said, "I'm the captain of this team, and my name is Zhang Debio. I don't know what you call it." Leng Mingyue was relieved to hear that the other party was so polite, and he was afraid that this team would be difficult to get along with. Said, "My name is Leng Mingyue, and the 2 of them are called Damimi and Zyokihua." When Zhang Debio saw it, he was really beautiful, and he was shocked. Damimi is a star, and the name Zio-Sunflower is not a cold medicine. "Come in, come in. Get inside." Zhang Debio yelled, "Quickly take out the piece of meat I saved earlier to entertain distinguished guests today." Leng Mingyue has a black face. "How long has the meat been saved? Can I still get it out?" Leng Mingyue said, "Captain Zhang, I want to join the team, kill zombies with everyone, collect crystal nuclei, and increase the level of abilities." Zhang Debio looked at Little Sunflower, then at Leng Mingyue. I wondered what this meant. Do I agree or disagree? At this time, the Little Sunflower zombie coughed a little itchy. Scared Zhang Debio quickly stood up. Said, "Our team still has some crystal nuclei. Bring it to you first. When we run out, let's collect together." Leng Mingyue felt a little embarrassed. This captain is really a good guy. Be nice to yourself. When eating, Zhang Debio let Leng Mingyue take the lead. Leng Mingyue was even more embarrassed. Look at the food on the table. Each person has a bowl of rice and a plate of fried meat, a plate of pickles and nothing else. Leng Mingyue doesn't know what other people will eat after the apocalypse. It seems that I have never eaten so badly since I woke up. After eating, Zhang Debio vacated his room and let Leng Mingyue live in it. Leng Mingyue said, "Captain Zhang, you are too polite." Zhang Debio took out all the stored crystal nuclei again, and there were about 80 crystal nuclei, all of which were probably grade 2 to 3. Now the crystal nucleus in the base is money. You can buy directly. Zhang Daibao said. You are now level 2 ability and you can probably absorb 5 to 10 pellets. You can use these crystal nuclei for about 10 days. We are collecting some. After Zhang Daibao left, Leng Mingyue put his arms around the second daughter and said, how do I feel that the people here are so enthusiastic? I'm so embarrassed. Damimi said, they are good to us, and we are good to them. We can also help them if they are in danger in the future. One with amnesia and Chu Xiaobei began to practice at the base. Leng Mingyue grabbed a crystal nucleus, and the energy in the crystal nucleus was instantly absorbed into the body. It seemed that there was a small hammer that hammered my brain. After absorbing 10 capsules in a row, it seems that I can still absorb it. After absorbing all 80, Leng Mingyue's level increased. Promoted to level 3. Leng Mingyue thought to himself, after seeing it, he will go out to hunt zombies with everyone tomorrow. Captain Zhang told himself that these crystal nuclei could be used for 10 days, but he used them up in one day. Don't think about it. Let's sleep with the second daughter in my arms. Ask Zhang Daibao tomorrow. The next morning, Leng Mingyue looked at the rice bowl in front of him, a bowl of porridge, half plate of pickles. No one else is qualified to eat pickles, only porridge. Leng Mingyue said that he absorbed all 80 crystal nuclei in one night. Zhang Daibao thought to himself, this is not a high-ranking person playing with me here. My own 5th level power user can absorb 80 crystal nuclei without any power in a day. But Zhang Daibao didn't dare to say it. You may be gifted. See you upgrade in one night. It took us more than half a year to go from level 2 to level 3. Zhang Daibao's flattery was very comfortable. Leng Mingyue said, let's hunt zombies together today. Zhang Daibao looked at the second daughter behind him, who was drinking porridge. Zhang Daibao did not get a response. Said, okay, let's hunt zombies today and collect crystal nuclei. After breakfast, Zhang Daibao took 15 people with him. Some stayed on base. Adding Leng Mingyue and 3 people, a total of 18 people, set off. After leaving the base, the mountain road is steep. This position is too good to defend against zombies. It was a bit difficult to walk, and the group walked for more than 4 hours before getting out of Helen Mountain. Come to the plains. The wave of zombies from last night has dissipated, but there are still many sporadic zombies. The zombies are relatively scattered, and it is easy to kill with the cooperation of more than a dozen people. By 4 PM, more than 100 crystal nuclei had been collected. At this moment, a sneer came suddenly. Zhang Daibao will let you come and go today. Chapter 110. Living in the base. A group of people appeared and surrounded them. Zhang Daibao was shocked. This is the old opponent of the team. Sometimes they fight for the goal of the mission. I didn't expect the opponent's manpower to expand so much. But when he thought of the 3 new ancestors who joined him, he felt relieved. The leader on the opposite side said, if Zhang Daibao has no last words, he will die. The villain died from talking too much, just about to order the attack. Damami glared at the leader with his eyes, and the leader felt that the god of death was looking at him, and cold sweat immediately flowed down. The leader looked at the 3 of Leng Mingyue. The clothes of these 3 people are very clean. These are 3 very special people, and Leng Mingyue can see that they are 3rd level supernatural beings. The 2 women behind couldn't feel the power, but the woman just stared at herself. There is a feeling of frantic exploration on the verge of death. The leader hurriedly said, I met you here today, and I must invite Zhang Daibao and you guys to have a meal. Cannot refuse. These words shocked Leng Mingyue's jaw. Just now I thought I was going to fight, but it turned out that I invited someone to dinner. Are you also enthusiastic? The leader trotted over quickly, came to Leng Mingyue and said, hello, boss, you can call me the second son. Leng Mingyue quickly said that Captain Zhang is the boss, and I'm just a newcomer to the team. The second son hesitated, but still shook hands with Zhang Daibao. Zhang Daibao knew that these 3 must have made the move. Said, eat is free. Brother Leng is short of some crystal nuclei now. We've given Brother Leng everything we have, but we are short on some. Look. Xiaozi quickly took out a small bag, which contained about 150 pieces. Said, since Brother Leng lacks crystal nuclei, then take all of these. Leng Mingyue was a little embarrassed, met by chance, and gave away so many crystal nuclei. How bad it was. Zhang Daibao said, "It's going to be dark soon, let's go back to the base, and the group will leave." One person said, "Second master, why did you let Zhang Daibao go and give them back so many crystal nuclei? That is all our property." Yi said, "The 3 people in their team are not simple, they must be high-level supernatural beings." The woman behind me just glared at me. Almost scared me to death. Although I was a little skeptical about accepting it, no one insisted on asking. The second master said, "People who see them will walk around in the future. Don't mess with them." Halfway through Zhang Daibao's walk with his people, it was dark, and he was cursing while walking. "It's all their fault for wasting our time, and now we have to walk the mountain road in the dark." It was after 8 o'clock, before we arrived at the base point. The people at the base have already prepared meals. Leng Mingyue saw that it was still a bowl of rice, and there were fewer pickles, only 20 to 30 pickles. Although Leng Mingyue was very hungry, he didn't want to eat. Leng Mingyue went back to his room. From the Godhead space, take out half-flavored pork. He came out with the pork on his shoulders and said to the cook, "Stew this, it must be stewed better." The cook saw the pork. "I'm drooling, I haven't seen so much pork in many years," and said, "Don't worry. Before the end, I was a 5-star hotel chef. Definitely give you good food." Many team members heard that there was pork, and they all came to watch the excitement. Drooling while watching. One person said, 7 to 8 years without eating pork. Zhang Daibao came over and said, "This is Brother Leng's zone. I didn't say it was for you to eat. Stay away." When they heard that they were allowed to watch but not eat, several people immediately cried out. One person said, "Let me eat a meal of pork, and I can die immediately." Leng Mingyue looked at these people too pitifully and said, "The pork brought today is for everyone to eat." After a while, everyone let go of eating. The atmosphere at the scene reached a climax point. The smell of stewed meat scattered around, and many passers-by outside the base asked, "Where is the stewed meat so fragrant? It tastes like pork. Haven't smelled it in years. If anyone can give me a bite, I'm willing to give him all my crystal nuclei." A person beside him said, "How many crystal nuclei do you have?" "There are only 3 in total, and if you want to eat pork, I will let you smell it." Chapter 111, Selling cigarettes for crystal nuclei. Today, more than 200 crystal cores are received, and everyone needs crystal cores. Leng Mingyue only needs 150 crystal cores from the second sun point. After dinner, the second daughter followed into the house, and Leng Mingyue asked the second daughter, "Do you need crystal cores?" The second girl shook her head. Leng Mingyue sat cross-legged on the bed with the crystal nucleus, and began to absorb the crystal nucleus. Leng Mingyue's speed is very fast, and he absorbed it in half an hour. The energy has reached the middle stage of the 3rd level. Terrifying promotion speed point. After absorbing the crystal nucleus, Leng Mingyue was still not sleepy, so what to do? He looked at the 2 beauties beside him. Time to get down to business. Leng Mingyue turned over. Pay later, Zhang Daibao had something to do when he got up the next morning, and Leng Mingyue didn't go out to hunt zombies. Take the second daughter and turn around at the Helen Mountain base. The base area is very large, and it is said that there is also an underground part. The clothes on Leng Mingyue were very clean, as was the second daughter. It's particularly awkward in this base. People are struggling to eat now. Still so clean. Because there are large areas of rice in the southeast of Helen Mountain. Because to the southeast is the Yellow River. The hinterland of Yinchuan is sandwiched between the Yellow River and the Helen Mountains. Only then did the Jiangnan outside the Great Wall come into being. Only in this way can so many people in the base not starve to death. Although starving to death, this base only has a little more ice than other bases. Everything else is pretty scarce. Leng Mingyue brought his second daughter to the trading area. There are usually some old clothes here. You can also see some books and old furniture. Most of them are women. Soliciting voices. Leng Mingyue took a look and found that his appearance was not bad, but his face hadn't been washed for a month. "My body stinks. Look, no appetite. Not as beautiful as these 2 around me. Especially the little sunflower, which always has a floral fragrance. It smells very nice." Leng Mingyue also saw that some women's husbands were soliciting business for their daughter-in-laws. A man grabbed Leng Mingyue's hand and said, "This gentleman. My wife is very clean. Never had a guest. You see, just give 10 catties of rice." Damimi stepped forward and pushed the man away. The power of Damimi is so great that the man fell to the ground and did not get up for a long time. The people behind saw it was not easy to mess with, and no one dared to step forward. In Xiangli, I saw a butcher stall. It should be mutated beast meat, but it can't be seen what kind of mutated beast it is. The price is 100 crystal nuclei per catty, and Zhang Dabio's team is reluctant to buy meat once a month. After shopping around for a while, there are some selling half cigarettes. I read that right, they are half cigarettes. This half of a cigarette actually needs 81st level crystal nuclei. There are still several thousand boxes in Leng Mingyue's Godhead space. Leng Mingyue thought of a good way to earn crystal cores. You can also sell meat. There are a lot of pigs and sheep in your Godhead space that you can kill, but it is more troublesome. It's better to sell cigarettes. Leng Mingyue found an empty seat, took out half a bag of Hantishan, soft bag, took out 3 bags, and put them in front. Soon Leng Mingyue was full of people standing in front of him. Because of a handsome guy, there are 2 beautiful beauties standing behind him. So attractive. Just looking at it feels enjoyable. Soon someone asked, "How to sell this cigarette?" Leng Mingyue said 100 primary crystal nuclei, or 10 secondary crystal nuclei, or a tertiary crystal nucleus. The energy of 10 first level crystal nuclei is about the same as that of 1 second level crystal nucleus, but no one will exchange the second level crystal nucleus for the first level crystal nucleus over there. Half a stick sells for 80, and mine only sells for 100. You guys are making a lot of money. Leng Mingyue saw someone whispering. The last 3 people dig out the crystal nucleus together, collected 100 pieces, and exchanged for a cigarette. Leng Mingyue is also very happy. It is too dangerous to go out and kill zombies by yourself, and now there is no danger to exchange for crystal nuclei. It can be absorbed again at night. But the level of this crystal nucleus is too low. I'm already in the middle of the 3rd level, and I'm absorbing the 1st level crystal nucleus, which is a bit of a drop in the bucket. No way, I can't beat the zombies myself. Slow down, slow down. Half an hour later, the other 2 cigarettes were also sold. Leng Mingyue took the 2 girls out, ready to go back to the residence. When I walked to the edge of the trading field, I saw an old woman who was also setting up a stall. They are all very worn out clothes and shoes, like whoever said, suspected shoes. There is only the upper, and the sole is tied with a wooden board. Leng Mingyue wanted to laugh when he saw it. These shoes are interesting. It's not easy to see the old lady lost her crystal nuclei. Let the old lady buy some rice to eat. Don't starve to death. The old lady had set up a stall for a month without selling a single one, and she ran out of food when she had no income. I saw Leng Mingyue throwing 2 crystal nuclei. Grandma will kneel down and thank you. This well-dressed man definitely doesn't like the rags of his booth. Leng Mingyue hurriedly helped the grandmother up, and when he was about to leave, he saw a stone in the grandmother's hand. Leng Ming felt very familiar, but can't remember where I saw it. Leng Mingyue asked, "Do you sell the stone in your hand?" The grandmother said, "I feel that this stone is a little different, but I can't tell. If you want it, I will give it to you." Leng Mingyue held it in his hand and felt it carefully. After thinking about it for a long time, Leng Mingyue gave the grandma all the 300 crystal cores from the cigarettes sold today. Turn around and leave. The old lady looked at the bag of crystal nuclei foolishly. I have been 7 to 8 years, and I have never seen so many crystal nuclei. But the old lady knew that her wealth should not be revealed. Put it in the rags, and quickly put it back into your rag tent. 5 of them were kept, and the rest were buried in the ground in 3 places. Leng Mingyue has been wondering where he has seen this stone, and Damimi reminded him, which woke up Leng Mingyue. Chapter 112 Hunting Level 5 Zombies. Damimi said, "There are 2 identical ones on the dining table in the space." Only then did Leng Mingyue remember. Before amnesia, Leng Mingyue piled up all the good things on the table. Leng Mingyue also put this stone on the table. The first one was given by Zuchun, the second one was collected at the top of the Ancestor Mountain, and the first 2 were collected by Leng Mingyue before he lost his memory. I didn't expect to get the third one by mistake after amnesia point. After studying for a while and not knowing what to do, Leng Mingyue took the second daughter back to the residence. Find a place where no one is around and take out a goat. Liv. Brought back to the team station. At this time Zhang Deibao had already returned. See the goat brought back by Leng Mingyue. I thought to myself, it's sure to be a big shot. Goats, meat are. The base is extremely scarce supplies. This ancestor can take out a sheep still alive. Leng Mingyue said, what about the 5-star chef? Cook some more dishes for me. The chef came out and said, don't worry, I will cook some good dishes for you. When eating dinner, smelling the aroma, the chef cooks delicious food. I'm happy. Leng Mingyue went back to the room and took out 2 bottles of liquor. Poured a glass for Zhang Deibao. But Zhang Deibao was overjoyed. Haven't had liquor for several years. After a few glasses of wine, Zhang Deibao burst into tears. It's the damn end. Let my wife and children separate. The family is broken. Zhang Deibao can't drink so much. Leng Mingyue ate and drank enough and divided the remaining half a bottle of wine among the younger brothers. Leng Mingyue went back to the house and decided whether to sell cigarettes to turn crystal cores tomorrow or go out with the team to kill zombies. Leng Mingyue asked Damimi, tomorrow shall we sell cigarettes or kill zombies? Damimi said, listen to the master. Do anything. Leng Mingyue waved his hand and said, it is useless to ask you. Let's get down to business, walk around and go to sleep. The next day, just after dawn, the base had already become lively and everyone started to leave the base one after another after eating. The superhumans form a team to kill zombies. If you don't have supernatural powers, follow behind and pick up some old furniture, old clothes. For survival, everyone is looking for a waypoint. At 6 o'clock in the morning, everyone packed up and set off for the gate of the base. Today Zhang Deibao brought a total of 20 people. A group of people set off. Everyone was very fast this morning and went down the mountain to the plain in 3 hours. Today I'm going to go to the suburbs of Yinchuan to have a look. The more zombies there are, the more good things there are. Everyone dare not mess with zombies with too high level. But now the zombies are evolving too fast. It's hard to find low level zombies. Sometimes you can only risk killing advanced zombies. Sometimes one encounters a group of zombies, and sometimes several teams join forces. For survival, find ways. Generally, they don't want several teams to unite, and the spoils are not easy to divide and cause conflicts. By noon, a total of more than a dozen zombies had been killed. The mood of the players is relatively low. Zhang Deibao said, there is a 5th level zombie with several 3rd level zombies and a 4th level zombie in front of him. We can't take it as a team. Let's find a small team to unite. There are still quite a lot of teams in this area, and a team of people was found in a short time. There are about 20 people in this team. The 2 captains started to divide the zombies together. Zhang Deibao said, I want the 5th level zombie. The rest of the 3rd level zombies and 1 4th level zombie will be given to you. The 2 hit it off. Although Zhang Deibao is also a level 5 supernatural being, it is very dangerous to kill level 5 zombies, and the whole team needs to work together to fight. The battle soon began. Zhang Deibao separated the 5th level zombies from those low level zombies. Both groups fired at the same time. Leng Mingyue's 3rd level ability is Earth. The fire ability is only level 1. There is no way to attack a level 5 zombie with a soil thorn. Zhang Deibao stepped forward to block the zombies, and the people behind all started to attack. Fortunately, this is just an ordinary zombie with no abilities. Leng Mingyue's earth thorns do not do much damage to the zombie, but they can block the action. Half an hour later, the zombie was covered with scars. Zhang Deibao shouted, hold on, brothers, the zombie is about to fall down. Unexpectedly, Zhang Deibao was distracted, and the zombie rushed past Zhang Deibao. The people behind were all lower level than the zombies, and 3 of them were blown away by the zombies in an instant. The zombie came to Leng Mingyue in a few steps. Waving his claws, he grabbed Leng Mingyue. Zhang Deibao had already chased after the zombies, slashed with a knife, but it was already too late to block the claws that were grabbing towards Leng Mingyue. Dami stretched out his hand to hold Leng Mingyue and blocked Leng Mingyue with his body. At this time, a branch of the little sunflower popped out and pierced through the zombie's head in an instant. Zhang Debio's knife also slashed on the zombie's head, chopping off the zombie's head with one blow. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Finally got rid of the zombies. I quickly looked at the 3 people who were beaten into the air. They were all seriously injured. Even the supernatural beings probably would have to recuperate for a month before recovering. Collect the crystal nucleus. Zhang Debio decided to go back to the base to rest. In the fierce battle just now, everyone suffered a lot. Earning a 5th level crystal nucleus today is considered an overfulfillment of the task. Along the way, Zhang Debio was hesitating whether to give this crystal nucleus to Leng Mingyue, because he also needed this crystal nucleus. Gritting his teeth for the last time, he handed the 5th level crystal nucleus to Leng Mingyue. This made Leng Mingyue especially moved. But he knew that Zhang Debio needed it more. Zhang Debio insisted on giving it. Leng Mingyue said, I know you need this crystal nucleus very much. If you insist on giving it to me, then take out a pack of cigarettes and hand them to Zhang Debio. You take this pack of cigarettes to exchange some crystal nuclei. For a pack of 20 cigarettes, the value should be about the same as the 5th grade crystal nucleus. Chapter 113. The base is attacked. Zhang Debio was also very pleasantly surprised. If this pack of cigarettes works well, it should be able to sell for a high price. After getting the cigarettes, he went out. He should have his own way, and he must have changed more things than going to the trading area. Leng Mingyue got the 5th level crystal nucleus. His ability level is too low. Normally there is no way to absorb such a high level. But Leng Mingyue after amnesia doesn't know. Zhang Debio thought this was a big boss. These common sense certainly do not need to teach themselves. Sitting cross-legged, holding the 5th level crystal nucleus in his hand, he began to absorb and temper the power of the fire system. The attack power of earth type abilities is lower. Today I want to raise the level of the fire ability point, because the power of the fire system is too low. It is very slow to absorb the energy of the 5th level crystal nucleus. It didn't absorb much when it was absorbed into the night. At this time, the sound of an alarm came from outside. Everyone in their sleep woke up with a start. When I ran out of the house, I heard someone shouting, there are zombies. Everyone get up and prepare to fight. Leng Mingyue asked Zhang Debio how the zombies could come in, because the base was in the deep mountains. Zhang Debio said, I heard it is a flying zombie. There should be high-level zombies in command. The base even starts the generator. Light up the perimeter of the base. Only then did I see that there were densely packed flying zombie birds in the sky. These zombie birds grabbed the zombies with their claws. When you get to the sky above the base, throw the zombies down. A few unlucky zombies fell to their deaths on rocks, but most rose to their feet and pounced on the nearest human survivors. At this time, the base was also very fast and organized its manpower to start fighting back against the zombies. Someone shouted with a loudspeaker, all assembled, fighting while retreating back to the underground bunker. Although Leng Mingyue has been here for a few days, he has not been to the underground bunker yet. At this time, the base commanders had a dispute. One person said, you can't go back to the underground bunker. Flying bird zombies will keep bringing in zombies. When zombies block the underground hole, we can only starve to death in the underground. One person said, there must be a high-level zombie commanding around here now. Otherwise, the bird zombies would not transport zombies so obediently. While talking, everyone was still rushing towards the underground hole. The one with the trumpet yelled again. The aliens stay. Let the civilians go in first. If they all go in and are blocked by zombies, they can only starve to death inside fighting. Pick up the knives in your hands and kill the zombies under the command of the base leader. They were able to hold off the attack of the zombies. Most of the zombies thrown in by zombie birds are level 4 to 5 zombies. For survivors, this zombie level is already very high. The battle has not been half an hour and thousands of casualties have already occurred. These are combatants. It will be a matter of time before it continues to be breached. At this moment, Leng Mingyue looked towards the surrounding mountains. From the top of the east mountain, I saw a few tall zombies, as if they were giving orders to the zombie birds. Leng Mingyue said to himself that it would be great if he could kill the zombie leader on the top of the mountain. The two women behind Leng Mingyue looked at each other after hearing it. Little Sunflower continued to protect Leng Mingyue from behind, to prevent zombies from breaking through the crowd and hurting Leng Mingyue. With a few dodges, Damimi broke through the crowd and rushed into the group of zombies. Several people on the survivors' side saw a figure rushing into the crowd of zombies, but it was out of sight in a blink of an eye. I thought my eyes were dazzled. Damimi went up the mountain quickly and saw a level 7 zombie and 6 level 6 zombies standing on the top of the mountain. This is quite a terrifying combat power. If enough minions are gathered, the base below can be slaughtered. The 7th level zombies looked at Damimi. The zombie felt that the person in front of him was very special, like a human being, but also different from a human being. When the zombies were still wondering, Damimi raised his sandbag-sized fist and punched him. A level 6 defensive zombie stepped forward to block it, and the level 6 zombie was directly blasted. The fist hit the head of the level 7 zombie without any pause. It's also the carelessness of the level 7 zombies, thinking that the level 6 defensive zombies can block it. Damimi quickly solved the zombies on the top of the mountain and remembered to collect the crystal nucleus. The zombie bird scattered in the sky. The number of zombies in the base is no longer increasing, but there are many more. Several leaders of the base are still wondering why the zombie birds are scattered. The person with the trumpet began to encourage everyone. Shout through the horn. The number of zombies is no longer increasing. Everyone, work harder and invite everyone to dinner after cleaning up the zombie base. In the post-apocalypse, maybe inviting a meal is the greatest encouragement. The zombies were not cleaned up until dawn. Leng Mingyue let out a long breath. This night's battle made me suddenly recall some pictures of the previous battle. I should have other teammates. At this time, the base has prepared meals. Fried potato shreds with rice. Hungry after a night of fighting, Leng Mingyue also ate a big bowl. The rest of my life. I don't want to go to bed first. I'm too sleepy. The base asked the civilians to start cleaning up the corpses of the zombies, dig out the crystal nuclei, and then transport the corpses out of the base for cremation. Chapter 114 Underground Space. After the zombie night attack, Leng Mingyue was lying on Damimi's lap, and Damimi was feeding fruit, including apples, bananas, and pears. Little Sunflower still beats her legs at work. Leng Mingyue rested for 2 days, and decided not to lie down like this anymore. I have to work hard to become stronger and survive in this doomsday. I found Zhang Debio and gave him a cigarette and said, go and change some more crystal nuclei for me, and I want 3 or 4 grades. Zhang Debio saw so much smoke, and it's in such good condition. Haven't seen it for a few years. Zhang Debio found a rag to wrap the cigarette in and went out. Leng Mingyue lay back on Damimi's lap again. Really comfortable. When it was dark, Zhang Debio came back secretly, find Leng Mingyue, and take out a bag. Leng Mingyue opened it and saw that there were crystal nuclei inside. Leng Mingyue took out 1 level 3 and 1 level 4 to Zhang Debio, and Zhang Debio left with gratitude. Start working overtime at night to absorb crystal nuclei. In one night, 2/3 of the crystal nucleus was used, and Leng Mingyue's fire ability finally reached level 3. Leng Mingyue said to himself, they said they can't use so many crystal cores. Why did I use so many crystal cores to upgrade? Several leaders of the base are having a meeting in a conference room. The person sitting in the main seat said, have you found out who killed the zombie on the top of the mountain? One of the people below said, it hasn't been found out yet, but according to the corpses of the zombies, it is judged that this is a level 7 zombie and 6 level 6 zombies. After this person finished speaking, a discussion started in the conference room. If there were no low-level zombies, and all the high-end combat forces in the base were mobilized to besiege, there should be a 60-70% chance of killing them. Who killed the zombies at an extremely fast speed on the top of the mountain and saved the base? The person who reported just now said the 6th level defensive zombies were directly blown up. It is estimated that it may be an 8th level supernatural person. The eyes of the person sitting in the main seat jumped and said, keep a low profile, don't make too much noise. At this time, Damimi washed some crystal nuclei and threw them directly into his mouth. The little sunflower also came forward. Damimi gave 3 of them, and the little sunflower also threw it into his mouth and started to eat it. Fortunately, Leng Mingyue didn't see this scene point in the evening. Leng Mingyue gave the second daughter the essence of the sun and the moon. Go to sleep. The second girl's body glowed a little point in the morning. Leng Mingyue wanted Zhang Debao to change some crystal nuclei, but Zhang Debao took people out early in the morning. Those who are bored can only take the second daughter to the base for a stroll point through the trading area. There is a large living area behind. After passing through the living area, you can see a very large cave. This should be what people call the underground area. Leng Mingyue was very curious, so he led the two daughters down. It was very dark inside. There is only one light at a long distance. Some of it is natural, and some of it is man-made. The people living inside are very dense. Point walking inside. There are several forks in the road. Another day, a small stream flowed out of the fork in the road, and some survivors took water directly from the stream to drink. Point there is water in the cave. There are large tracts of fertile land outside the mountains. It's a great place to be a base. There are too many fertile fields outside, and when the season of sowing and harvest comes, these people will all be dispatched. The supernatural being lures away the zombies. Let these commoners sow and reap. Point. Even if there are people with supernatural powers, sometimes they will be attacked by zombies. When they are not sowing and harvesting, they only have porridge every day, as long as they don't starve to death. Point. When it's time to work, they can eat enough. When they are not alive, some of them have good physical strength and follow the supernatural beings to collect crystal nuclei or supplies. Go to the trading area for some food. Leng Mingyue looked at these people so pitifully. The more people went inside, the more people there, and some dirt appeared inside, which should be easier to dig. Point. The three of them walked to the innermost part. Saw a little girl looking 15 to 16 years old, very thin, crying alone. Leng Mingyue stepped forward and asked, "Little sister, what's wrong with you?" The little girl cried and said, "My parents were eaten by zombies." Leng Mingyue sighed. Another poor man. Leng Mingyue is substituting into the Godhead space, if he wants to or not. Although the people there are also very difficult, they will not starve to death. Like a little girl who is likely to starve to death. Leng Mingyue didn't know what kind of temper this little girl had. Leng Mingyue took out 2 steamed buns and a small bag of rice for the girl. Said, "Try to live." Leng Mingyue walked out in a bad mood. Out of the underground space. Take a deep breath. He returned to his residence with his second daughter. "I'm in a bad mood, so I want to vent it on the second daughter." Chapter 115. Shizushan City was robbed. Leng Mingyue's happy life began, and he took his 2 daughters out for wanderings every day. Absorb crystal nuclei at night, or communicate with 2 girlfriends. Leng Mingyue would take out cigarettes, instant noodles, and spicy strips from time to time. Liquor. All kinds of goodies. Ask Zhang Debao to change the crystal nucleus. A large number of crystal nuclei are absorbed every day, which makes Leng Mingyue progress rapidly. In half a month, both systems have reached the 4th level abilities. In the morning, I told Zhang Debao that we are going to kill zombies together, so as to practice the experience of killing zombies. Zhang Debao said, "Today we are going to a farther place to hunt zombies. Not coming back tonight. To spend the night outside." Leng Mingyue said, "It's good to go together if there's nothing to do. I'm also a 4th level power user now." The main battle strength of the team. Point. After leaving the base, we climbed over mountains and ridges and finally came to the plain. A group of more than 20 people ran quickly, and the destination of everyone was Shizushan City. I got the news that some non-mutated animals have been found here, which can be used to eat. In the past 2 days, there have been many teams here, and missions have been listed in the base, which can be exchanged for crystal cores. Although there is rice in the base, the dishes are very scarce. Meat is even more precious, a total of more than 50 kilometers. Everyone is a supernatural person and runs very fast. It will be there in less than 2 hours. Everyone spread out, looking for animals, while looking for lone zombies to kill. Leng Mingyue took the 2 girls to find a 4th level zombie. Leng Mingyue hit the fireball. When the zombies ran towards this side, a soil thorn suddenly appeared in front of the zombies, stabbing the zombies. Leng Mingyue fireball and earth spike exchanged tools. Killed a zombie easily. Point. At this time, some battle scenes appeared in Leng Mingyue's mind. It is the battle scene of past life and present life. At this time, more than a dozen zombies rushed out from the side. Leng Mingyue didn't use his abilities. He reached out and took out an alloy saber from the divine space. With one knife, the head of the zombie in front was chopped off. Facing the zombies, he cut down a dozen zombies one by one. After killing the zombies, Leng Mingyue sat down on the ground. Panting heavily, Damami asked, "What's wrong with the master?" Leng Mingyue said, "I remembered something. After resting for a while, all the crystal nuclei were collected." Leng Mingyue thought to himself, "So I'm also so good in melee combat. I always thought I was a mage, but it turned out that I was a fighter plus a mage." The improvement of the ability level also allowed his memory to recover little by little. Some fighting instinct. Take a break and continue looking for zombies. Leng Mingyue saw some sheep. Leng Mingyue chuckled. It seems that this is what everyone was looking for. Leng Mingyue asked the second daughter to help. The three of them quickly chased after it. This sheep breed is not available in the divine space. Leng Mingyue took an aram and the other three found a rope and tied them up. Walk with the sheep while looking for zombies to kill. There are about 10 people in the distance and 3 people follow from a distance. Leng Mingyue knew after seeing these people, it was sure to see these 3 sheep. Want to grab your own spoils. Leng Mingyue took the sheep and hurried to find Zhang De Biao, and everyone was not too far away, but not a few steps. People from a distance ran over. Leng Mingyue stood in front of the sheep. A person who came over said, "Brother, our sheep ran away and was caught by you. Give us back the sheep." Leng Mingyue said, "We caught this sheep first, so we will definitely not give it to you." The people who gathered around were just looking at the sheep at first, but when they got closer, they saw that the 2 women behind them were both fish and wild goose, and they were ashamed of flowers. These people said again, "Not only the sheep ran out from us, but the 2 women behind also ran out from us. Get out of here quickly, you kid. I can still save your life." Now Leng Mingyue is angry and annoyed. "I can't beat so many people by myself. But just now I regained some melee awareness. If it is a surprise attack, it is not impossible." Leng Mingyue said, "Brother, don't joke. Then I will give you one of this sheep. You are also from the Helen Mountain base, right? Do you know Zhang De Biao? That's our captain. He's nearby. He'll be here soon." Several people also hesitated when they heard Zhang De Biao's name. Leng Mingyue also hurriedly looked around, but there was no one around. The person opposite said fiercely, "We both want sheep and women." In an instant, Leng Mingyue took out the alloy saber from the divine space, swung it quickly, and cut down the 3 of them in an instant. When the other party saw it, they cut down 3 people instantly. The encirclement has expanded a bit. Leng Mingyue swung out 2 hands, and 2 fireballs blasted them flying. The opponent's counterattack came when the opponent was reduced by half. There are fireballs, and there are wind blades. Leng Mingyue jumped to the side, and the little sunflower controlled the branches to protrude from the ground, directly blasting the heads of the 2 remote abilities. When Leng Mingyue stood up, there were 3 other people, 2 with power abilities, and 1 with defense abilities. 3 regret it. It's not okay to provoke anyone. Touch this evil star. Leng Mingyue gave the 3 of them time. He rushed over with the alloy saber. People with defensive abilities feel that their high defense should be able to withstand it. As a result, it was cut in half by an alloy saber. 2 people with supernatural powers couldn't escape even if they ran, so they gritted their teeth and stepped forward. Unexpectedly, at this time Leng Mingyue threw 2 fireballs at the 2 of them, and following the fireballs, the alloy sword arrived. After solving the 2, Leng Mingyue felt that he remembered many battle scenes when he was fighting. There are past lives and present lives. Clean up the battlefield and find some crystal nuclei from these people. Take the second daughter to find a clean room to rest, and hide the sheep. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 116 Midnight Zombie. During the break, Leng Mingyue was wondering whether to kill a sheep for a meal. Finally gave up on the idea. Had a meal of braised pork. made of small sunflowers. The taste is also very good. It is already afternoon. Zhang Debao said that he will not go today, and the chances of animals coming out at night are greater. Leng Mingyue didn't know where everyone was hiding, only the meeting place when returning to the base tomorrow afternoon. Leng Mingyue didn't want to kill zombies anymore. He killed a lot of people today, so he needed to adjust his mood. Leng Mingyue pulled the second daughter over and gave them some special clothes. What big power wears is a nurse outfit. Little Sunflower is wearing a maid outfit. The daughter is responsive, especially with Leng Mingyue. Let Leng Mingyue have a great addiction. The second daughter has good physical strength. In the end, Leng Mingyue was defeated. Leng Mingyue went to bed early. Although the windows and doors are blocked with things before going to bed. But because these sheep have a relatively strong taste, still attracted zombies. In the middle of the night, there was the sound of zombies scratching at the door. Leng Mingyue looked out. Good guy. There are hundreds of zombies. He quickly supported his waist and began to put on his clothes. It was impossible to break out with the sheep, so Leng Mingyue also included the 3 sheep in the Godhead space, bringing the second daughter to the door. There are too many zombies. Leng Mingyue went to the back window to look again. There are also many zombies. Leng Mingyue took out a bowl of blood from the last slaughtered sheep from the Godhead, spilled out the window. Stimulated by the blood, the zombies went berserk. They all rushed to the back. Leng Mingyue opened the door with the 2 girls, and there were still a few zombies. Fireballs and earththorn alloy swords rushed out of the house. I ran 2 kilometers in one breath. Look back and see that there are no zombies chasing out. Very dangerous. Leng Mingyue looked at his watch. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. Li Xianliang still has several hours left. Leng Mingyue took the second daughter back to the Godhead space. It is safe to sleep here without being disturbed. I was flustered just now, and the woman's place was not dressed properly. I ran so far just now, and my clothes were torn in some places. Leng Mingyue sighed. The quality of the clothes is not good, and then he stretched out his hand and tore the clothes off. Another battle point. The next morning Leng Mingyue couldn't get up. Sleep until 12 noon. The second daughter got up to cook, and Leng Mingyue was lying on the bed and feeding the second daughter one by one. After eating, it was already 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was time to gather in 2 hours, and everyone was going back to the base. Leng Mingyue took the 2 daughters out of the Godhead space and 3 tied sheep. After leaving the Godhead space, walked towards the assembly point. It's not too far away, and the assembly point will be reached soon after more than 10 kilometers, and some team members have already returned here. Many people got nothing. Some caught a mouse, some caught a rabbit. These are not bad. But seeing Leng Mingyue bring back 3 sheep, they were all dumbfounded. As expected of a big boss. Great shot. After waiting for a while, Zhang Debao also came back. Zhang Debao caught a chicken, that kind of pheasant. Not much meat, very thin. After seeing Leng Mingyue's sheep, there was another burst of flattery. Thousands of wares and thousands of wares. Flattery does not wear. Listening to Leng Mingyue is comfortable. After more than 10 years, the last 2 team members came back. Both of them were injured, and one was seriously injured. The injured person said, "We found a house at almost 1 o'clock in the morning yesterday, but a lot of zombies came in the middle of the night. We were just about to run, and a bowl of blood was spilled from the opposite house. If I hadn't witty opened a hole in the side of the house and ran out, we would have confessed." Leng Mingyue was a little familiar with this scene, but definitely can't admit it. Everyone ran towards the base with the harvest. Arrive at base after dark. Zhang Debao asked Leng Mingyue what to do with the 3 sheep. Leng Mingyue said, "A sheep was killed tonight to satisfy the brothers. For the other 2, I will change the crystal nucleus tomorrow so that everyone can raise their abilities." Thanks again to Leng Mingyue. Chapter 117. Leave the base and irrigate the farmland. The team ate happily, definitely saving the best place for Leng Mingyue. Zhang Debao went out at night. 2 hours later the 2 sheep were taken away. When I came back, I replaced it with 2 bags of crystal nuclei. Zhang Debao gave Leng Mingyue both bags of crystal nuclei, but Leng Mingyue only took 1 bag and said, "The other bag will be shared by everyone, only if everyone is stronger." Teams are strong to survive in this fucking doomsday. Everyone adores Leng Mingyue very much. He brought food and crystal nuclei to the team. Leng Mingyue returned to his room with the crystal nucleus. There is another stock, and it starts to absorb crystal nuclei. This bag of crystal nuclei is estimated to be able to rise to level 5. Everyone in the base said it was too difficult to upgrade. It's quite simple, as long as you feel like you have hands. Leng Mingyue sat cross-legged, ready to start absorbing crystal nuclei. But when he looked up, he saw a secretary dressed up. There are 2 people pretending to be a teacher, and the evil fire is full of fire. Before absorbing the crystal nucleus, teach these 2 goblins a lesson. Point even over the war. Everyone in the base couldn't sleep. The battle continued until the early hours of the morning. Leng Mingyue couldn't get up. There is also no absorption of crystal nuclei. Just fell asleep. The 2 women continued to add essence. The second girl's body began to emit a faint light again. The eyes of the 2 women became more agile. The next day Leng Mingyue got up with his back supported. Regret said, yesterday should not be playful. It should absorb the crystal nucleus well. Tomorrow and tomorrow. How many tomorrows? I live for tomorrow, and everything is in vain. Too sleepy. I ate a meal and went back to sleep. It was already 1 o'clock in the afternoon when I woke up again. Feel refreshed. Leng Mingyue was thinking of not finding a few zombies to kill. But now it's getting dark outside the base. Forget it. Let's go tomorrow. If there is a big battle at night, then start absorbing crystal nuclei in the afternoon. Absorb the crystal nuclei for an afternoon. Leng Mingyue's soil ability has reached the middle of the 4th level. The fire ability has reached the late stage of the 4th level. Speed can scare people. When it was dark, Little Sunflower found Leng Mingyue and asked, what does the master want to eat tonight? Leng Mingyue blurted out, Lalita. Little Sunflower blushed. Said, I will prepare what for dinner. Leng Mingyue said, let's eat braised noodles. I haven't eaten for a long time. Little Sunflower nodded and ran away. Leng Mingyue felt something was wrong. What's wrong? A person with amnesia can't see anything wrong. After eating, Leng Mingyue wanted to absorb the crystal nucleus when the door opened and he was dressed in Lalita clothes. OMG, wow. I have no words to describe it. It's amazing. Leng Mingyue rushed up. It ended earlier this time because there was a knock on the door at 10 p.m. The team informed that they will go out collectively tomorrow. This is the mission of the entire base. Because there is no water in the rice, today I have to lure all the zombies away. Irrigate as much farmland as possible. Leng Mingyue said he knew and closed the door, thinking about continuing to fight. But the second daughter was wrapped up and ran away. After absorbing the crystal nucleus for a while, I went to bed early. Tomorrow is the overall mission of the base. So there will be a lot of people going out. So we have to start early. Otherwise it will take too long for so many people. Under the command of the base leadership, the land will be divided up tomorrow. Where to irrigate first, where to irrigate later, how to lead the zombies. It's all arranged. Leng Mingyue also woke up very early in the morning, packed up and walked outside together with the team members. Today is a big battle. About 200,000 people were mobilized today. There are supernatural beings, and there are civilians. These civilians are very experienced in attracting zombies by supernatural beings. They opened canals to release water, and the base even took out 2 motorcycles on purpose. Also assist. There are cars now, but gasoline is too precious. These people all left the base and came to the plane. Then follow the previously distributed tasks. Everyone gets to work. Fortunately, there are not many zombies in this area. Everyone can make it easier. Gradually pull the zombies away. If there are few zombies and the level is not high, just kill them directly. Chapter 118, Encountering Mutated Wild Boar. Generally, people with speed abilities or strength abilities are used to attract zombies. Elemental abilities are all assisting in killing zombies. Leng Mingyue and several elemental powers were looking for lone zombies in the rice fields to kill. When a few people were about to reach the edge, a wild boar suddenly jumped out of the rice. Ordinary wild boars are in groups. Leng Mingyue looked left and right, but there was only one wild boar. This wild boar is not too big, but from those agile eyes, it could be known that the mutation level of this wild boar was not low. Although wild boars are omnivores, but cannibalism is also common after the end of the day. Several teammates saw the wild boar's eyes lit up, scrambling to activate the ability to attack the wild boar. The ability hit the wild boar without any damage. The wild boar was very fast, rushed to the front, and used the two dagger-like pig teeth to point at one person and pick it up. Leng Mingyue was horrified to find that the survivor had been split in half. Intestinal viscera flowed all over the floor. Some red and white things splashed on Leng Mingyue's feet. Leng Mingyue looked disgusted. He didn't want shoes anymore, and he would never eat tofu brain again in this life. It seems that there is no tofu brain to eat after the end of the day. Several people retreated quickly after seeing the wild boar's terrifying attack power. But the wild boar does not intend to let everyone go. Everyone turned around and ran. The wild boar chased after him, and the leg of the last man was pierced by the pig's teeth. The wild boar ran forward with the man. The survivors screamed and were dragged by wild boars. There were 5 people in the team, and one died, and the other was injured in an instant. A man ran ahead of Leng Mingyue. One person was behind Leng Mingyue, and the 3 ran one after the other. The second daughter also followed Leng Mingyue. In the eyes of others, the second daughter was an ordinary person without supernatural powers. Not counting in the 5-man squad. The man running at the rear let out a scream. Leng Mingyue ran forward. He turned his head and took a look. It turned out that the wild boar shook its head sideways. The person at the back is chopped off laterally. The 2 parts of the body are still struggling. Leng Mingyue was covered in cold sweat. Now I'm at the end. The next target of the wild boar will be himself. At this time, I didn't dare to look back, hating my parents for losing 2 legs, and I tried my best to breastfeed. At this time, the wild boar was behind Leng Mingyue. Leng Mingyue felt a cool breeze. The wild boar pointed at Leng Mingyue with its pig teeth, trying to pierce Leng Mingyue. At this time, a branch was pulled on the pig's teeth. The wild boar was pumped away. A pig tooth was pulled out. The wild boar stood up and shook his dizzy head. I ran back quickly, knowing that there was a hard stubble. When Leng Mingyue turned his head, the wild boar had disappeared. Leng Mingyue wiped the sweat from his brow and said, "He escaped death by a narrow margin. We will have a good celebration when we return to the base in a while." Leng Mingyue reported the mutated wild boar here. A team of dozens of people was photographed. Defense, attack, strength, and element are all available. A fully equipped team. After searching for a long time in the rice fields, I couldn't find it. Possibly the wild boar had escaped. Because this is a main team, and there are still many tasks to eliminate zombies, I searched here and left without finding it. Leng Mingyue was terrified to see the broken bodies of several teammates cremated with a fireball. In the apocalypse, cremation may be the best solution. Either it was eaten by zombies, or the corpse became a zombie. The teammate who ran in front of Leng Mingyue didn't know where he went. Leng Mingyue was the only one, and he walked in with his 2 daughters. Look for crowded places. When it was getting dark, everyone began to gather and went back to the base together. In the evening, everyone called Leng Mingyue for dinner, but Leng Mingyue didn't go because he had no appetite. More than 50 people died in 100 days. This loss is also considered very large. The next day, another group of people went to water the rice. Leng Mingyue slept in the house all day. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Leng Mingyue came out of the house. Zhang Deibao hurriedly said, "Brother Leng is hungry. I'll ask someone to cook a bowl of porridge for you." Leng Mingyue said, "I want to eat roasted whole lamb." Zhang Deibao was dumbfounded. We have replaced the sheep with crystal nuclei. Now that the crystal nuclei are almost used up, if I want to buy a sheep, I guess it will take a long time to get it together. Leng Mingyue said, "I have one in my room. I'll get it for you." Leng Mingyue carried out a sheep that had been slaughtered. Zhang Deibao hurriedly called the chef, "Hurry up and have roasted whole lamb tonight." When it was processed, it was more than 3 hours after it was baked. Leng Mingyue didn't eat for a day. I ate a quarter of it by myself. Everyone divided the rest, and everyone could eat a few bites of meat, and everyone was very satisfied. Leng Mingyue is too full. Lying in bed, do not want to move. The 2 girls took turns rubbing Leng Mingyue's stomach. "I want to drink water after eating too much meat." The more you drink, the more you will feel full. After 2 hours of activity, my stomach is not full. This is Leng Mingyue sleeping all day without being sleepy. I started looking for clothes from the Godhead space to see if there were any personalized clothes, and let the second girl do the role-playing point, find a mature clothes, a girl's clothes. Let Damimi play the mother. Let Little Sunflower play the daughter. Leng Mingyue plays the stepfather. The three of them were having a good time. The three of them tossed until 3 o'clock in the morning. Only then did Leng Mingyue calm down. After tidying up in a hurry, I went to sleep. I can rest for another day tomorrow, and I will go out to irrigate the rice fields the day after tomorrow. Just a few more days, and it will be almost there. In another month, rice can be harvested. After Leng Mingyue woke up at 10 o'clock in the morning. I have nothing to go to the trading market today on a whim. Can you still find the magical stones? See if you can summon the dragon. If you collect all 7 of them, I already have 3 in my hand. Take a chance. Bringing the second daughter to the trading market, the 3 of them became the focus in an instant, attracting most of them to look over. Of course, they all looked at the 2 women in the back. Leng Mingyue searched stall by stall. A broken lighter only has flint, and another lighter only has gas, but it was damaged by a reissue of flint. Good guy, you need 2 lighters to light a cigarette. There is still half a bottle of beer. It is estimated that it has been opened for half a month. Is the beer still drinkable? And the torn clothes were pulled from the zombies. I've been looking around for hours and haven't seen anything good. Chapter 119, Material Exchange for Crystal Nucleus. It's too difficult to find leaks in the trading area. It's full of rubbish. The task of irrigating the rice fields is still in progress. The paddy fields outside are too large. Leng Mingyue has missions to go out every 2 to 3 days. Have been there a few times without encountering too much danger. The mutated wildboar never appeared again, although Leng Mingyue was not in danger. But every day there are casualties. I heard that once a speed zombie rushed into the crowd of civilians. The scene was bloody. More than 200 civilians were killed or injured that time. The last 3 teams besieged and killed the speed zombie. After 10 days all rice fields are irrigated. The civilians also let out a sigh of relief. Every time I go out, I brush shoulders with death. The civilians can rest, but the supernatural beings still hunted and killed crystal nuclei as before improve own abilities because he slept too late at night. Zhang Debio had already taken people out in the morning. I can't go out with the team to kill zombies today. That's not a waste of time either. Leng Mingyue took the second daughter back to the Godhead space. There are still many people here. Now Leng Mingyue already knows that statue is himself. Everyone worships themselves and prays for what they need. Every once in a while, some needed supplies will be provided to the people here. Leng Mingyue came to the largest village first. There are already more than 200 people here. Today even caught up with a married. This is the first time Leng Mingyue has seen it after the end of the world. Of course, this wedding is also quite simple. People made simple percussion instruments. This wedding is more like a Chinese wedding. Leng Mingyue thought to himself that, since he had caught up, he would follow the ceremony. I'd pray to heaven and earth. The statue of Leng Mingyue who worshipped first. Leng Mingyue was not stingy either. 2 pigs and a sheep appeared directly in front of the statue. 2 new red clothes, 2 pairs of shoes. When the onlookers saw that the god had appeared again, they immediately bowed and kowtowed. A large amount of power of faith entered the body. Let the body strengthen. Continue to distribute benefits village by village. Got a lot of power of faith. In the evening, Leng Mingyue had finished eating, and Zhang Debio brought people back. The harvest was not good today, and only a dozen crystal nuclei were collected. 2 others were seriously injured. Leng Mingyue found Zhang Debio and took out 2 bottles of liquor and a box of Kangshua with instant noodles. Instant noodles are definitely not inferior to meat in Doomsday. There are not enough ingredients for meat in Doomsday, and the taste is average. But the instant noodle seasoning, the taste of pure monosodium glutamate is absolutely obsessed. Zhang Debio was drooling when he saw these things. Said, I can't eat so much, I want to grab it. When I reach out. This is not for you to eat. Use these to exchange crystal nuclei. I have to work hard to increase the level. I have a hunch. I want to increase to the 5th level power level as soon as possible. Something might be going on. You can only eat a bag of instant noodles at most and replace the rest with crystal nuclei. Zhang Debio wiped his saliva. said, "Don't worry, I will definitely be able to exchange enough crystal nuclei." I found a torn clothes and went out with my things in my arms. Leng Mingyue looked at the injured man. "It hurts badly. It is impossible to get out the spiritual spring water, so take out a box of anti-inflammatory drugs." Said, "You take some anti-inflammatory drugs. It should get better sooner, thanks everyone." Leng Mingyue is out of the room. Zhang Debao came back in less than an hour. "Why did you come back so early? Didn't you get the crystal nucleus?" Zhang Debao hurriedly said, It's changed. Because everyone knows I have good stuff. After I took it out, everyone scrambled for it. The selling price is high, and it is fast," he said, and took a bag of crystal nuclei. Leng Mingyue looked at it and estimated the approximate value, which must be higher than selling it by himself. And the speed is still so fast. He grabbed a handful of crystal cores for Zhang Debao and took the crystal cores back to the house. Leng Mingyue decided to work hard to absorb the crystal nucleus and upgrade the level as soon as possible. It seems that he can absorb it all the time, and there is no upper limit. As long as there are enough crystal nuclei, it can be upgraded much faster than others. When you want to work hard, there are always some obstacles in front of you. Only by overcoming thorns and thorns can there be a spacious road. When Leng Mingyue entered the room, he saw that the second daughter had changed the program today. One is Japanese. There is also a cat girl, and there is a tail behind the cat girl. Leng Mingyue wanted to see how the tail was fixed. I want to seek the scriptures, but there are always monsters blocking me on the way. That Japanese one. "You are holding a fan. Are you Mei Shiranu? In order to succeed, you have to kill demons first. I told you not to know what is good or bad." Leng Mingyue pounced on it. "Tear up the fan first. If you can't lose your fan, you will be charged. I haven't subdued this yet. I didn't expect that cat girl to attack me. Good guy, I haven't studied your tail yet. You just delivered it yourself. I'll let you go through the back door. Bah, stinky rascal. Take your knife today. You don't even have fans for the Japanese ones, and you still resist. Take your life. You little wildcat, dare to scratch me. Watch me pull your tail off. After a great battle, the sky was slightly bright, and Leng Mingyue was so sleepy that he fell asleep. Little Sunflower said, "Sister, I'm a little tired anyway." Damimi nodded. "Our bodies have undergone some changes," Little Sunflower asked. "What is the change?" "Maybe closer to humans." The second girl lay down next to Leng Mingyue. Her body glowed with a faint white light again. Leng Mingyue slept until noon the next day. Woke up hungry. The second daughter has already prepared lunch. Her Beijia's body is like a crisp, and she kills ordinary people with a sword at her waist. Although no one's head fell, the leader's bone marrow was dry in secret. After lunch, the second daughter stopped making trouble. Leng Mingyue began to absorb the crystal nucleus. Absorbed until 12 o'clock at night. The fire ability and the earth ability have reached the late 4th level. Promotion has been forgotten. Leng Mingyue got out of bed and moved his limbs. I saw the second girl looking at me in her pajamas. What should I do? Waiting online. Very urgent. Chapter 120, Going out to kill zombies. Leng Mingyue was about to pounce on him. Damimi said, "Master, just now Zhang Debao came to tell you that there will be a group of zombies that will be difficult to kill tomorrow. I hope you can help." Leng Mingyue stopped. "Do you have a task tomorrow? Need help yourself." Leng Mingyue went to bed after eating a late night snack. Tomorrow, he was going to hunt zombies, so he had to start early. In the morning, we set out with a team. Zhang Debao told everyone. This used to be an underground supermarket. Gathered zombies. Someone found a pack of instant noodles here. But because there are many zombies, I didn't check carefully. There may be supplies here, though unlikely. But it's also worth a try. We finally arrived at our destination at 10 AM. This is a town. Not too big. From the outside, you can see some zombies wandering inside. Zhang Debao asked a person with speed abilities to attract a few less zombies. Kill the zombies first. Even if you don't find supplies, you can still collect crystal nuclei. Leng Mingyue stopped and said, "No need to go, just watch mine." Leng Mingyue took out a remote-controlled drone from his bag, actually the Shenge Space. Fly to the town with the remote control. Everyone used these methods in the early days of the end, but so many years have passed. Either it's out of power, or even if it is damaged by zombies. Leng Mingyue controlled the drone to circle around the town first. There are not a lot of zombies around, and there are some scattered ones in the town, so it will be much safer. Leng Mingyue lowered his altitude and circled around several zombies, attracting them to run towards the team. After seeing it, Zhang Debao said, "Everyone prepare for the team elemental attack point." Several zombies were shot down in seconds. Everyone is very happy. It's great to be able to kill zombies without loss. Leng Mingyue used drones to pull a few more waves of zombies. There are no zombies on the streets, and the drones are dead. Everyone began to slowly explore the surrounding houses. The houses here have been explored by countless people. The chances of having supplies are slim to none. When a small 2-story building was searched, a team member shouted, "There is a strange zombie here." Everyone gathered around to watch. It is a little girl of 15 or 16 years old. Has become a zombie, but did not take the initiative to attack people. The room where the female zombie was located was very empty and there was nothing to find, so no one went in. Some people found it boring and searched elsewhere. Leng Mingyue also came to the door of this room and looked in at the female zombie. Then the girl raised her head. He exchanged a glance with Leng Mingyue. Such a beautiful girl. A head of long hair that is very vertical. She has turned into a zombie, but she can still be so beautiful. She may have been more beautiful than Dami Mi when she was alive. What a pity. Leng Mingyue is still regretting. By this time the girl had stood up, walked towards Leng Mingyue. Leng Mingyue threw himself at a fireball, but seeing this perfect face, I couldn't bear to ruin it. The female zombie has come to the front. Leng Mingyue reached out his hand and brought the female zombie into the Godhead space. The female zombie did not resist. It was received very easily. Now is not the time to study zombies. There were sounds of battle in the distance. Leng Mingyue hurried downstairs with the second daughter. It turned out that a level 5 zombie appeared. Zhang Debao pushed forward, and the elemental system had already begun to activate its abilities. Level 3 and level 4 abilities do little damage to level 5 zombies. Leng Mingyue joined the battle as soon as he arrived. Leng Mingyue is close to the rank of 5. The power of this fireball is very powerful. A fireball smashed the body of the 5th level zombie. Zhang Debao was surprised. This attack power was higher than his ability damage in the middle of the 5th level. What an outlier. The 5th level zombies also felt that Leng Mingyue was the greatest threat, so they even gave up on Zhang Debao and rushed over to Leng Mingyue. Leng Mingyue made 2 more fireballs, smashing the zombies back. Zhang Debao quickly stood in front of him. The battle started again. Zhang Debao was grabbed by a zombie in the back. Half an hour later, the zombie was finally ground to death. 1/3 of the damage was done by Leng Mingyue. Zhang Debao received the 5th level crystal nucleus. It was already afternoon. Zhang Debao said, "This town is already relatively safe. There would be no safe zone today. Just spend the night here. Save running back and forth. Too much time wasting." Chapter 121. Take a little girl zombie. The chef has already prepared dry food. Took on tortillas and 3 bowls of rice. This is the meal of the day. Just put some salt in the pancake. There is something like sauce in the rice. Not to mention how unpalatable it is. It's good to have something to eat now. There was still some time, and the team killed more than a dozen zombies before finding a clean small building for everyone to settle in after dark. Leng Mingyue did not live nearby. "I'm going to find a place farther away to avoid being seen." In the evening, you have to enter the Godhead space. After eating, they rested. Leng Mingyue took the second daughter to find an empty house. Flashed into the space of Godhead. Leng Mingyue is still studying the female zombie. Seeing Leng Mingyue approaching, the female zombie also stood up. With this action, Leng Mingyue can feel that he is not an ordinary zombie. Leng Mingyue cut off about a catty of mutton, swaying in front of the zombie group. Ordinary zombies would have rushed over long ago, but this zombie was indifferent. The zombie walked up to Leng Mingyue and stretched out a hand. What does this mean? Leng Mingyue also extended a hand and gave the female zombie a high five. At this time, Dami Mi said, "Master, it wants your blood." Why? My blood is not sweet. Why do you want my blood? Curiosity kills men. Leng Mingyue wanted to know what the zombies were doing drinking their own blood. Take out a disposable paper cup. Little Sunflower took an alloy weapon consciously. Leng Mingyue took the weapon and cut it on his hand, bleeding out. He planned to only take half a cup, but the alloy sword was too sharp, and a cup of blood flowed out. Can't do bloodletting anymore. The female zombie took the cup and drank it down. It's like there's some superpower in this blood. Little Sunflower quickly put Leng Mingyue's hand into her mouth and began to suck it. The wound that already had a blood scab was sucked open by the little Sunflower, and Leng Mingyue knocked the little Sunflower. Only then did little Sunflower open her mouth. After the female zombie drank the blood, the corpse spots on her body receded, and her sharp nails also retracted. The blood-sucking teeth also returned to normal. Fuck me. Zombies can turn back into humans after drinking my blood. But even if you drain me dry, you won't be able to save many zombies at this time. The female zombie spoke. Only I can turn back into a human being. Ordinary zombies will not work. This zombie can still speak. It seems that it has really recovered into a human being, and its voice is soft and pleasant. Leng Mingyue asked, "What is your name? Why can you change back? Do you have supernatural powers?" Asked 3 times in a row, so that the girl didn't know which one to answer first. The girl said, "My name is Kian. Although I have become a zombie, I have strong control and I can always stick to my heart. Let my consciousness control the body all the time. What I awakened when I became a zombie was an advanced version of the water system, the ice power. I also have powers now. My ability level should have a late 8th level." Leng Mingyue's jaw dropped in shock. At the end of the 8th level, if it is true, she can slaughter the entire Helen Mountain base with a single zombie. After the late 8th level, it is possible to rise to the 10th level. Leng Mingyue began to seduce the little girl. Said, Kian will follow Big Brother in the future, okay? Big Brother will give you delicious food, including lollipops and chocolates. And chips. Kian said happily, "Okay, then I will follow Big Brother from now on." I didn't expect the masters in the late 8th level to be so easy to deceive. However, Kian was still not released from the divine space. In space, Leng Mingyue is a god, and what he says follows. If Kian is not well, she will turn back into a zombie. He can also subdue her in the divine space. Let's first watch Kian's every move in the Godhead space. Observe for a few days before talking. If it is sure that there is no problem, release the space of Godhead. After studying the female zombies, he left the space of Godheads. With a small sunflower and a big power, the hut I chose was a little far from the temporary base. In this way, the movement here will not be discovered by others. It was getting late. It was time to get down to business again, because in the wild, the 3 of them were more restrained. 2 hours later, a chess match was played. Agreed to fight again tomorrow. Chapter 122 Meeting the one-toothed wild boar again. The next day. Wake up feeling refreshed. The only thing that will get better after the apocalypse is definitely the air. All industries shut down. There are no cars either. The air is so nice. It is already early summer. The team is eating pancakes. Leng Mingyue felt that the meal was in the past. While drinking the broth, he gnawed at his elbow. After drinking the last sip of soup, he burped. A little supportive. With the second daughter, they found the big troops who were still eating. Zhang Debao was still eating corn tortillas. Seeing Leng Mingyue coming, he quickly took out a corn pancake. Leng Mingyue wanted to eat meat early in the morning and just ate an elbow. Now I feel like throwing up when I see what I eat. I will never eat elbows again. Wrong, I don't eat elbows in the morning anymore. By this time everyone had finished their breakfast. Zhang Debao deployed the task. This town is not big, and there are not too many zombies. Everyone is divided into 3 teams. Clean up the zombies separately. In this way, the speed can be faster, and the 3 teams should not be too far away. If you are in danger, you can help as soon as possible. Everyone split up. Leng Mingyue and several people explored towards the south. After killing a few waves of zombies, I just had a bite at noon. In the afternoon, Leng Mingyue looked up and saw a wild boar in the garden in front of a yard. At this time, the wild boar also raised its head. The 4 eyes met, and they were all stunned. The teammates walking with Leng Mingyue saw Leng Mingyue stop and follow Leng Mingyue's gaze. Several people were excited. Wild boar. If you kill it, you can eat several meals of meat. If you save money, you can probably eat a few yuan for each meal in a week. None of these people had worked with Leng Mingyue to irrigate rice fields. Never seen this wild boar. Leng Mingyue can clearly affirm that last time he almost killed himself. Now I see that this wild boar has only one tooth. This long tooth is also terrifying. Leng Mingyue wanted to run, but teammates have already surrounded the past. The wild boar was also hesitating at this time. See the second daughter behind Leng Mingyue. The wild boar trembled. He still has one tooth left, and when he wanted to run, several humans surrounded him. Leng Mingyue shouted, "Be careful, this wild boar is very powerful, it almost wiped us out last time." One person said, looking at the size of the wild boar, "It is not too big. The ability level is definitely not too high." Several people have already begun to prepare for the ability. Leng Mingyue couldn't help it, but he didn't want to die. He still remembered the scene of being chased by a wild boar last time. The tragic situation after several people died. Leng Mingyue started to back away, shouting while retreating. This wild boar mutates in a direction other than its size. The speed is very fast. Everyone run. Those few people no longer listened to Leng Mingyue. Already started attacking the mutated wild boar with abilities. The wild boar was still thinking about whether to run, but saw the two women running back after a man. The few people in front began to attack themselves. The wild boar lost his temper. Although the attacks are all tickling. The wild boar rushed over extremely fast. One of them didn't have time to react and desperately twisted to the side to pass a pig, and the wild boar flew out. Wild boars also have some discomforts, usually pierced with pig teeth. It is inconvenient to have only one tooth now. Several survivors saw the boar go so fast. The attack ability doesn't respond much to the fur. Everyone scattered. The wild boar did not give up hot pursuit, and the encirclement spread out. You turn and run. It is also afraid that the woman who knocked out his teeth last time will make another move. The wild boar ran away. Several people helped up the bumped one. The man vomited a few mouthfuls of blood, and his consciousness was a little fuzzy. Leng Mingyue was relieved when he saw the wild boar running away. I saw the wounded being brought over. Several people hurried to find Zhang Daibo. Leng Mingyue was still looking back, being careful not to be attacked by a wild boar. Zhang Daibo checked this man. The sternum was fractured, and there should be internal bleeding. The current medical conditions can only be maintained. I don't know if I can take care of it. Zhang Daibo checked the time, and it was almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Someone made a simple stretcher. Carry the wounded back to base. Back to base early today. Leng Mingyue let out a long breath. It's finally safe. That wild boar is scary. The wild boar also let out a sigh of relief. It should be safe after dark. Those humans are scary. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 123, Meeting Li Linga. It's horrible outside. Leng Mingyue has to step up his training, and he will not leave the base until level 5. The wild boar outside is too powerful, and has already encountered it twice. Leng Mingyue is afraid, so he goes out and meets that wild boar again. No fighting goblins at night. Start to absorb crystal nuclei. Seriously. I have been absorbing crystal nuclei all night, and I get up and move my body in the morning. Absorbing crystal nuclei is also a tiring job. Some people can't practice cultivation after reaching a high level. You have to kill zombies to collect crystal nuclei during the day and absorb crystal nuclei at night. Those who can't hold on anymore will not be able to increase their level. Some people only have level 5 abilities in 10 years of Doomsday. Zhang Daibo didn't go out today either, so he asked everyone to rest for a day. Leng Mingyue didn't go out either, and had been working hard to absorb the crystal nucleus. After a week of hard work, the soil system finally broke through the 5th level. The fire department is still a little bit worse. Leng Mingyue really didn't want to absorb the crystal nucleus. It was too boring. Leng Mingyue looked at the second daughter who was sitting drinking tea and got angry. I practiced so hard, why don't they both use it? Leng Mingyue said, let's go out for a walk and relax. The second daughter followed Leng Mingyue out the door. Only the trading area is the busiest. Although there is nothing good, I went to the trading area just to watch the excitement. Wherever Leng Mingyue takes his second daughter, he is the focus. Every stall is broken and can't be broken anymore. Point across the trading area. I saw some women doing laundry, hand washing. Just one crystal nucleus can wash clothes for a month. Many men don't want to do their own laundry, so they do it here. There is nothing to see here. Leng Mingyue was just leaving. One person shouted, "Brother Leng, are you?" A woman rushed over and grabbed Leng Mingyue's clothes. The second girl behind her looked at her. She was just an ordinary person, without supernatural powers, so she stopped paying attention to this woman. Leng Mingyue said, "Do you know me?" The woman said, "Yes, you have helped me. My name is Lilinga." "Brother Leng, have you forgotten me? We also said we would meet at the base in Kyoto." Leng Mingyue said, "Can you tell me in detail? I don't remember anything from the past." Lilinga said, "Okay brother Leng, I'll finish washing these clothes first. I'll do it soon, and I will tell you in detail after washing." Leng Mingyue looked at the pile of more than 100 pieces of clothes, frowned, and said, "Don't wash, I will take care of you, and I will only wash clothes for me in the future." He stretched out his hand and pulled Lilinga away. Back at the residence, let Lilinga talk about the past in detail. Lilinga was a little embarrassed, but actually the two of them only spent one night and one morning together. Not much is known. Lilinga said, "When you rescued me, you still had several teammates. One is Huang Kan, one is Lingyue, the other is Lingayan, and Kinfeng. By the way, there is also a dog Rhubarb." Lilinga said a name, and Leng Mingyue repeated it. "My head hurts more and more." Leng Mingyue rolled on the bed with his head in his arms. "The more I think about it, the more my head hurts. My name is Lilinga, and my father is Professor Lee. A team of special forces flew a helicopter to rescue me. Do you remember? It was as if something was preventing me from remembering." Lilinga said, "Brother Leng, don't worry, think slowly. If you can't remember it, don't think about it." Leng Mingyue was sweating and dizzy and fell into Lilinga's arms. The two girls looked at each other, then quietly closed the door and backed out. Leng Mingyue closed his eyes and rested for a while to get better. When he found Lilinga's arms, he got up quickly, said, "What you said is very helpful to me, but I can't remember it now. I need to stay here. I will live here in the future, do my laundry, and clean up the house. Can I give you 10 crystal nuclei every month?" Lilinga said, "I used to wash hundreds of pieces of clothes every day, and the boss only gave me 1 crystal nucleus a month. You can give me 1 too." Leng Mingyue saw that Lilinga's hands were covered with calluses and the scars left by frostbite in winter. It was shocking. Lilinga's face was also aged due to the wind and sun. Leng Mingyue said, "Is there anything else you need to clean up where you live? Go clean up, come live here, and I'll arrange a room for you. If there are too many things, I will clean them up for you." Lilinga said, "No need. There are only 2 clothes and bedding. I will go to tidy up and come back soon." Sure enough, he came back in half an hour. There are very few things. Leng Mingyue took a basin of spiritual spring water and said, "Here are some potions. Soak your hands twice a day and wash your face." Lilinga heard that the expensive potion was very precious and put it away. Leng Mingyue went to Zhang Debao and asked, "Is there any room left? They are arranging one for me. 1 more person will live." Zhang Debao said with some embarrassment, "Now only you and the patient have rooms, and I live in tents now. Otherwise, give up my tent and I can find a corner to sleep in." Leng Mingyue waved his hand, looked at his room. It was quite spacious, and the second daughter usually shared a bed with her. A single bed can be placed on the opposite side. No one was in the room, so Leng Mingyue directly took out a single bed from the Godhead space and put it on the empty seat. After a while, Lilinga came in and saw that there was an extra bed here. Leng Mingyue said, "There is no room outside, and the team leader lives in tents. You just make do with it here." Lilinga blushed and nodded. The next day I was woken up by Lilinga's screams. Leng Mingyue got up, saw Lilinga looking in the mirror, saw Leng Mingyue come out, and said excitedly, "Brother Leng, the potion you gave me is too powerful. Look at my face and my hands." Leng Mingyue looked at it. Lilinga's face was fair and rosy. The exquisite facial features are very good looking and can score 95 points. I saw it yesterday, just like a beggar, but I didn't expect it to be so beautiful. He looked at Lilinga's hand again. These hands have too many calluses and chilblains. Some mild ones are already healed, and severe ones still need to wait for a few days. Leng Mingyue asked Lilinga to continue soaking her hands in liquid water and return to the bed by herself. With one arm around the other, he continued to sleep back into the cage. Lilinga was very embarrassed. An unmarried girl who has never had a boyfriend before was too embarrassed to see this scene and ran out blushing. Chapter 124. Take Lilinga. Leng Mingyue didn't want to practice after meeting Lilinga. A few days passed, holding the crystal nucleus in my hand. I kept thinking about the past and kept chanting those names. A dog named Rhubarb. So many villages. It is estimated that there are more than 10 rhubarb in every village. The name is really ugly. I don't know who came up with it. This is the first person to know yourself, and it should be helpful to help yourself remember the past. Leng Mingyue was also a little embarrassed at night because he used to fight with goblins at night. Now suddenly there is a stranger. Although she says she knows herself, she doesn't know her. There are also some embarrassments at night. Lilinga tried to make a curtain around the bed, but couldn't find any cloth. Cloth is also a scarce commodity in the post-apocalypse, and many people can wear it for several years. Damimi seems to have seen the embarrassment of Leng Mingyue, and Lilinga said, "Master, let's have some drinks at night." Drinking wine can bring people closer. Sunhur and Damimi made some meat dishes, all of which are good dishes to go with wine. These days, Lilinga and Leng Mingyue have eaten very well, but the smell of the stew today is like a dream. It's so fragrant. For a person who has been hungry for several years, there is a feeling that he can die after eating this meal. Leng Mingyue took out 2 bottles of liquor, asked Lilinga to sit next to Leng Mingyue. The 4 poured wine. After 3 rounds of wine and 5 flavors of food, most of the wine was drunk by Leng Mingyue and Lilinga, and they were all very happy. Leng Mingyue grabbed Lilinga's little hand and said, "The calluses and frostbite on your hand are healed. Look how slippery your little hands are. The face is also fully restored." Leng Mingyue asked again, "Didn't you go back to Kyoto? How did you come to the Helen Mountain base again?" Lilinga let Leng Mingyue touch her little hand and said, "A mutated bird attacked the helicopter halfway through its flight. Although the helicopter didn't crash, it couldn't change its direction and flew northwest until it ran out of fuel and was protected by a special forces member and jumped into a lake. We have lost our way. I don't know where it is. We are surrounded by zombies. Sometimes we can find a car to drive. Just walk along the road. Sometimes we run with survivors. It took 2 months to get here, but those special forces members died, so I stayed in this base. I have suffered countless times over the years. Never had such a good meal. The last time I ate it was when you saved me. I still remember the pork stewed with beans and potatoes." Several people drank both bottles, mostly Leng Mingyue and Lilinga. The 2 were dizzy. Lilinga couldn't even stand up. Lilinga's eyelids trembled slightly. In fact, no one was drunk unconscious. Lilinga is an ordinary person. No power bonus. Leng Mingyue's power is too great now. Leng Mingyue was very embarrassed. Take out a bowl of liquid water and give it to Lilinga to drink. Hope the injury heals sooner. Lilinga felt that her face was so red. I'm so envious of supernatural beings. It would be great if he had special abilities. Thinking about it, Lilinga fell asleep. Leng Mingyue went to bed in the middle of the night. In the morning, Lilinga's body was fine after drinking the liquid water. I saw that the person on the big bed was still sleeping. Thinking of what happened to me last night, I blushed and ran out to make breakfast. From this day on, the single bed was merged to the side of the big bed form a larger bed. Neither Lilinga nor Leng Mingyue said anything about their responsibility or their status. Lilinga is also a person who has been smoothed by the end of the world, and I have seen too many things in the last days. One steamed bun can sleep all night. I ate very well with Leng Mingyue, and Leng Mingyue gave me some clothes. I have nothing else to ask for. I just don't know if my father is still alive. Will I still be able to see it in this life? Chapter 125. Difficult task. A week later, Leng Mingyue finally broke through the 5th level in both disciplines. Streams of combat experience emerge from memory. But thinking of the names Lilinga said, I still have a headache and can't remember them. Could it be that his level is still low? Are you still trying to upgrade? There are very few high grade crystal nuclei. It is also a sky high price to exchange materials. The best way is to go out and hunt zombies to obtain crystal nuclei. Zhang Deibao came to look for him and said that the base had a high level mission. Requires advanced abilities of level 4 and above to execute. It happened that Leng Mingyue wanted to go out to kill zombies. If he could gather all the high level personnel in the base, he would definitely go out to kill high level zombies. Zhang Deibao took Leng Mingyue with him at noon, and there were 3 4th level supernatural beings in the base. A group of 5 people came to a square. Thousands of people gathered in this square. It turns out that there are so many high level abilities in the base. It's about the same time when people come. On the rostrum, a person held a loudspeaker and said, everyone was called here today because the patrol found a problem. Everyone knows that the reason why our place is Jiangnan outside the Great Wall is that there are Helen Mountains in the north and the Yellow River in the south, so that we can grow enough rice. It can feed so many people in the base. But the patrol found that the Yellow River had stopped flowing. If the Yellow River stops flowing, the rice we plant will not be able to grow, and most people in the base will starve to death. The patrol team traveled upstream along the Yellow River and found a huge mutant animal in the river. We are called together today to organize a large mission. It is necessary to hunt and kill this mutated animal as much as possible. If it cannot be hunted, it must be driven away. The specific level of this mutated animal has not yet been ascertained. What is known now is that it is huge and can divert river water. The people below started whispering. Everyone is discussing that such a large animal must be very dangerous. The people on the stage said again, this mission is related to the life and death of the base. I hope everyone can contribute their strength. Gather at the entrance of the base at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and the base will prepare dry food for 3 days. After speaking, people went down. People in the square went out one after another. Zhang Deibao and Leng Mingyue said, this task must be very dangerous tomorrow, but I still said to go. Brother Leng, are you going? Leng Mingyue said, go. The crystal nuclei of level 5 and above are not easy to exchange for materials, so they can only kill zombies by themselves. I recently recovered some memories all about combat. Zhang Deibao nodded. There will definitely not be fewer people going tomorrow, because everyone knows that if this mutant animal is not dealt with, the base is sure to be very dangerous. Back at the station together, Zhang Deibao sighed when he saw Lilinga. Brother Leng is amazing. He looked like 40 years old when he first came here. After being moisturized by Brother Leng, he now looks 20 years younger. After teasing, he wiped his saliva and left. The whole team knows that Leng Mingyue has 2 beautiful women, and now there is one more, and each of the 3 women is more beautiful than the other. Lying on the bed at night, Leng Mingyue talked about the task of going out tomorrow. Lilinga is just an ordinary person, so she definitely doesn't want to stay in the base. The other 2 girls often go out with Leng Mingyue to kill zombies. They have never been slowed down, and they run fast. Leng Mingyue did not refuse. Then began to study how Lilinga could activate the ability. Although it is too late to activate the ability now, it is also good to enhance the physical fitness. It won't last for 20 minutes. Leng Mingyue gave Lilinga a crystal nucleus, asked her to hold it in her hand, and began to sense the energy of the crystal nucleus in her hand to see if it could be absorbed into the body. Tried for an hour, still not working. No response at all. Leng Mingyue took out a bowl of liquid water for Lilinga. Lilinga wiped the liquid water flowing from the corner of his mouth with his hand and picked up the crystal nucleus with his hand. At this time, when the liquid water in his hand touched the crystal nucleus, a burst of energy entered Lilinga's body. Great, I can also absorb crystal nuclei. Brother Leng, am I also considered a supernatural being? Leng Mingyue said, you absorb it slowly, don't rush. And tomorrow we are going to carry out the mission. Get down to business today and go to bed early today. The goblin battle was short and intense. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.